friends. Welcome into the firm of Harris and Marang. Patrick Harris, yours truly with you. That's Danny Marang. To my left, Casey Smith over there bumping the beats. The whole fam bam back together. Happy little Tuesday. Hope everybody had a safe, wonderful remembrance of a Memorial Day weekend. I am alive, which is fantastic.
Yeah, there we go.
Can't say the same for my computer over here, but good thing I got a backup.
Yeah, both of us are dealing with that right now.
But yeah, we're here. It's a short week, but we're excited to have everybody. A lot going on. I'm very curious about the thing. So I've been off the grid basically for 4 days. I was able to catch a little bit of basketball via El Radio and a nice little restaurant and bar that had a TV.
A resort?
Resort is a friendly word.
I was going to say, I was like,
A resort is a friendly word. A place that had cabins and yurts and a small restaurant and a little
Who doesn't love a good
store.
yurt?
And a little convenience store. I felt bad because I had to interrupt the bartender they were watching a show called Live PD. It's cops, but it's live.
Yes.
And they were like, every day it starts at 5. And I was like, so does a basketball game. Can we watch the basketball game?
The thing that's live.
And they were like, sure. You'd be surprised, man. When you get out to the middle of nowhere somewhere and people are on vacation, you'd be surprised how much people don't care about sports.
Well, yeah, when you get outside civilization, sure.
Because I was like, can I watch the basketball game? The guy was like, basketball? I've heard of that sport. Yeah, we could put that on. And then someone came up and was like, are you watching this basketball game? Because I was interested in watching the hockey game. And I actually went, you know what? More power to you. The Knicks are up by 75 right now. Go for it.
Oh, yeah. That game? Turn that game off.
Which one?
Yeah.
Any of them?
Yeah. No.
Does anybody want to come hang out here?
I am so disappointed in the Cavs. So dumb. Dumb.
I know. I've said this to you. I will never understand it. I will never, ever understand how in games where it is time for you to, as Dan Lanning would say, and I would click the button if I could, nut up or shut up, and you just absolutely are like, nah, I'm good. I will never understand it. You explain it to me. Mm-hmm. We talked about it before the show. We've talked about it on the air before. We've texted about it, and it's something that my brain cannot compute.
The dog in them per 36 does not exist.
Time to nut up or shut up.
It's so straightforward. You got to play today. You got to have intensity and effort and hustle. Mm-hmm. And they're just like, nah, we're good. Who wants any of that?
It's people, man.
I'll never understand it.
It's people. Everybody thinks that professional athletes, this is what you do for a living. If I were you, I'd do this. No, you wouldn't. You'd cash your $50 million check and you'd go home too, just like everybody else.
I know. I try to think about if it happens in other sports, and I just can't find it.
It does.
In the level of magnitude in which it happens in basketball.
How many times in baseball series have we seen teams just crap the bed and just not be there? It happens all the time.
But 17 football for non-playoff contenders is sometimes a real tough watch.
Fair. That's a fair point.
How many college football playoff games have we seen where the teams did not show up?
The big ones, though?
Yes. Not show up.
I mean, I guess Oregon, Indiana. That's a fair point. Yeah.
It happens, man. Like, you're just like, oh, you're just not good enough.
Yeah, and I always thought that, like in baseball, at least the starting pitcher is still trying. Like some of the batters might not be swinging the ball or swinging the bat well enough, but you feel like pitchers still are going to go and give it their all.
Yeah, it just happens, man. But that's why when you get a series like OKC, San Antonio, you're like, yeah, this is an all-time series. Give me this.
Two people that actually care. And you do get games like Game 4, and we'll get into these series more in the first hour.
It's not even just the care; it's the mentality like that doesn't get broken. Mm-hmm. Like when you get punched in the face with 12-0 run, man, like out of the gate, and it's 20,000 people. Like if you're at home, like think about Game 1 and Spurs OKC. Like San Antonio came out and said, "Remind me again, which team won the NBA Finals last year?"
Yeah,
because I don't care, and they look like the team that was there, and that's the thing is like, but. OKC's been through that, and they were able to push it and get back into it. But those are the things that happen, man. Look at the Knicks last year. They're in the NBA Finals this year. What happened last year?
Not good.
Tyrese Halliburton.
Yep.
You folded.
Yep.
You fired your coach.
You watched Tyrese pick you apart for like 3 games in a row.
Mm-hmm. So this is why teams like the Spurs and the Thunder are skipping steps, and it's like not typical. But what's typical is paying your dues and kind of getting embarrassed.
Mm-hmm.
That's just the nature of that beast. How many times did we see it with the Jays in Boston? Just choke.
Yeah. You got to pay your dues at some point.
At some point, it just kind of comes into there.
Are we going to keep saying that the entire Eastern Conference kind of choked, or are we going to start to give the Knicks a little bit of credit?
I'm going to give them credit, but I'm not going to take away from the Knicks.
100%.
But that conference is buns.
I think is the biggest frauds at the 1 and 2 seed that we've ever seen.
It's up there. It's up there for sure.
2 teams that got swept.
Just
I also think that there's just, we talk about growing pains and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I think the East has more growing pains than we realized. I think there was a lot of like, we think you're about to take that step. Hello, Detroit. Hello, Orlando. Charlotte did kind of take that step, but they are doing it more traditionally. Like
going from complete buns to, hey, respectability.
Hey, a play-in game. Hey, not so bad. You don't quite make it to the whole dance, but like they played all right down the stretch. That's what you see. I remember at the end of the playoffs last year, we weren't doing this show, but it was, I feel like anybody with any sort of sports mind looked at the world and was like, Detroit, Orlando, those 2 teams are going to pop next year. Mm-hmm. And Detroit popped more than we even thought they would. Mm-hmm. Cade, welcome to the show.
They crushed their over-under.
Yeah, welcome to the show, Cade Cunningham. They walk into the playoffs, and it's like, what the hell is a playoff? I've never heard of this. At least Orlando gave them a fight. They might be one of the better 8 seeds we've ever seen. But everybody in the middle, like Atlanta looked good until the Knicks were like, oh, now I see. Got this. And they were toast. Boston, I was really high on Boston, and I watched it and was like, dang, Marang is right. A lot of roster issues. No size down low. Tatum's not fully healthy. Probably came back too soon. You're like, ding, ding, ding. These things don't work. And then Cleveland, 0 effort.
Well,
0 effort.
Again, I would always argue against trading for Jim Harden.
They're going to run it back with him.
The tweet that I saw that just went super viral is like, trading for Jim Harden to win a title is a lot like marrying a stripper because you want a family.
I saw the same thing.
And I was like,
I saw the same thing. That's brutal.
But I didn't think that's too much. I was like, nah, that's a pretty apt comparison.
That's brutal, man.
So I saw of the 18 playoff games, Harden had more turnovers than field goals in 7 of them. More than a 30-year games, you had more turnovers than field goals made. That's just disgusting.
I was talking with some friends. Excuse me. Sorry about that. I was talking with some friends who aren't the biggest sports fans, but they were kind of like, oh, well, tell me what's going on in the playoffs. And I let them know, are you familiar with James Harden? They said, yeah, I know James Harden. I know who that guy is with the beard, right? And I was like, yep. And some of my friends I went to college with, they were like, that guy was at Arizona State, right? Yep. We all remember watching him. That guy, his career is ending before our eyes in like, it should be one of the saddest ways possible. But nobody likes Jim Harden. So it's kind of, we're kind of like laughing at him about it. He can't do it anymore.
No, he doesn't have it left.
He doesn't have it at all. And it might be the regular season and he's scoring points and doing stuff, but he just doesn't have it. It's gone. Mm-hmm. I mean, I could argue in the playoffs he never had it.
I mean,
but he is a top 5 scorer of all time.
He's up there.
Like the dude has changed the game to an extent. Mm-hmm. The travel step back 3, the jumping and falling into people to initiate contact.
Oh, and the handle.
And the handle. Like that's James Harden. That's an all-timer. But we're watching his career completely fall apart. And if you think that he is going to find his way to a title, go with God.
Yeah, want no part of it.
Go with God. I mean, unless he's on the bench of a San Antonio, OKC, New York Knicks team.
I have a totally random tangent that popped into my head.
Go. We're a little sportsy here. So
I know.
You can go wherever you want.
I got to pull this out. I had to do a grocery run last night. Lady needed some stuff to finish a recipe. And I just got a couple other things. Are you guys pro self-checkout?
There
depends on how many items I have.
12 items or under. Like it's not that I follow the rules. Mm-hmm. It's that I don't want to check out too much stuff. Like when the wife and I go grocery shopping for like the whole family for the week, we wait in line.
Okay.
We like Gail at our Freddy's.
Okay.
Gail or Sam, they take care of us.
They get you squared away.
Yeah.
I'm a pro check, but there's levels to being being able to check out your own stuff. And I swear to God, number one, people learn how to get in line. Do not take the line through the aisles. Turn it to the side so you're out of everybody's way who's trying to get through. Number one. That drives me crazy. You ever seen that? Like, you have the self-checkout and they just draw the line like into the aisles. It's like, no. Turn it to the side so we're not in everybody's way. That's number one. Number two, if you don't know what you're doing, go in the aisle that is not self-checkout. Number two, now it be number three here. If you're slow and the line is building, take your ass to the other line. Because this is for like, keep it moving. I could have 25 things. I will get out of there faster than damn near everybody. Doot. I know what I'm doing. I can scan. I know the numbers. I know like putting produce in. I know which ones need to be weighed, which ones I can just put the quantity in. I'm keeping it moving. If you don't know what you're doing, stay the hell out of that area. It drives me crazy.
Well, I think one thing that I benefit from at the grocery store is I have zero sense of urgency at the grocery store. Not in the sense of like spatial awareness, but in the sense that I don't park and say, I need to get in there and get out of there as fast as possible. I will not be in your way.
That's fine.
I will not be in your way.
That's what I'm talking about.
But I am in no rush at the grocery store, so I will happily.
But you take yourself over to the other line.
If I have a full cart, I will happily wait in the line.
And that's totally
fine.
fine.
I jockey a little bit to find my quickest line.
No, there's nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that. But the people that get in there just, doot, and just dawdle the whole time. It's like, bro, let's keep it going. Especially when they're like that, the self-checkout line backs up. It's like, go.
I need to start writing a list because I've got a list of highly contested topics that I will run when I run for president. That will be on my list. Like, it is illegal for retired people to grocery shop on the weekends.
Yeah.
Things like that.
Monday through Friday only?
I need to keep a running, Monday through Friday before 5 o'clock.
Yes.
I need to keep a running list because that's what's going to change America. All right? If you don't know how to maneuver a four-way stop, you don't get a license.
Nope. You don't wave people on, go.
Yep. We go together. If you're turning, we go together.
We go together.
That's how I'm going to be president. Just run on those issues.
It's just the simple things, and it's all about spatial awareness, situational awareness.
Spatial awareness and social awareness, man. The two things we lack in this world.
Just lacking.
Common sense ain't so common.
Nope.
Oakley Dokley, we got a great show for you today. It is a free consultation Tuesday. We'll do that at 12:15. I'd love a little bit of help from you all out there because I've been off the grid for about 4 or 5 days. So at the top of the big nooner, I'd like to play a little game of what did Patrick miss sports-wise or world-wise over the weekend. You can text those in. We'll get to that at the nooner and free consultation. We got a lot of basketball to get to in the first hour, and the Portland Timbers have made a change at the managerial level. Let's just say that. So a lot to get to today. That's Danny. I'm Patrick. 105.1 The Fan. 10:16 here, Portland Sports Leader. Don't you forget it. We are live, as we always are, from the shadows of the historic Fremont Bridge. 503-864-6326 is the fan text line. You can send us your free consultations, and you can also let me know what I missed over the weekend, because I have no idea what's going on. I did not see The Mandalorian and Grogu, so please, no spoilers there. But we'll get to that in the nooner. We'll spend some time in basketball here. We'll get to the Portland Timbers, the Trailblazers in the 11 o'clock hour. But we kind of got to it for a little bit there, Danny. The Knicks booked their tickets to the NBA Finals for the first time since a guy named Patrick Ewing played, for the first time since a guy named Michael Jordan was not playing. This is a big deal for the Knicks. And like, shout out your fans. I'm so excited for you guys, and I know that it's something long awaited, and New York is basketball mecca. This team, as we talked about, and I wonder if it's partially the Jim Harden aspect of it and the lack of effort throughout it. We are not big fans of the Knicks on the court. Okay, Jalen Brunson is not my cup. Very good player. Not my style of basketball player that I like. But off the court, they're pretty likable.
They are, and that's the thing is, like, I'm a huge McHale and Hart guy. Brunson, off the court, I love. On the court, not my Huckleberry. Not taking away from how good he is.
And I'm a Hart and OG kind of guy. Bridges, I liked Bridges years ago. I don't know how he works in this team.
I love OG. He's just a silent killer. He's just, but I'm talking about like personalities. McHale and Josh are great, and same with Brunson. Have you seen the analytics that have kind of come out of this? There's a chart that's kind of circulating around on social media right now. The Knicks by point differential over a 10-game span, the last 10 games, it's the best 10-game stretch by point differential in the history of the NBA.
They've been really good.
Plus 246. So do the math on that. It's 24.6 points per game they're winning by over a 10-game stretch. It's bonkers. You see the 97 Bulls at plus 203. You see the 2017 Warriors at plus 206. Like
both really, really good teams.
74 Milwaukee Bucks plus 214. You're talking about teams that are loaded with the best players in the history of the game. And then the Knicks.
Yeah. They've unlocked something offensively. Which is why, you know, the media was always going to ride the Knicks. They were always going to be a part of this team, and they want this team to win the finals and what it means for New York. But the reality is, Danny, you're right. Those stats don't lie. They're unlocking. But to Casey's point earlier today, the East has kind of no-showed in this playoffs. But the Knicks, to their credit, they had
players in front of you.
They had one little fight against Cleveland, and they were like, ooh, that was close, but we got it. This thing's over. Mm-hmm. And that was the worry, I thought, was the layoff. Cleveland, Detroit went 7 games. Mm-hmm. You know, we saw this with in the Stanley Cup. The Carolina Trailblazers in their first game against Montreal got blown out because they'd sat around for 11 days. And we had that concern with the Knicks. We're going to have it again right now if the Western goes 7 games. They had one game where it was like, how's this going to go? And then they were like, we're done with this. We're going to put this to bed and it's over. They're chemistry-wise, this is some of the best chemistry I've seen since Clay, Steph, Draymond.
So, one, I want to start with a little nugget in there. Is I wonder how different this series would have been if Cleveland doesn't melt down in game 1.
Yeah.
I do wonder that. And that's not to take away from the Knicks. I wonder how mentally what that does.
Series ended kind of there.
Yeah. When you blow a 22-point lead with 7:53 to go, that's crazy. Beyond that, there has been a very sizable shift, and I talked about this for myself over the last couple of years, in team building. Yes, overwhelming talent wins. The best front offices in the league, they are very, very, very much leaning into the soft skills. It's not just like how well they get along with people. It's the IQ. It's the feel. Like, take a look at the draft over, the last 15 years. 15 years ago, you're still getting guys taken even further back than that, like the Michael Kidd-Gilchrists of the world, the Noah Vonleys of the world. These guys
Candy.
Like, just guys that just have unbelievable physical attributes.
Kwame Brown.
So there's a real discussion going into this NBA draft. Cam Boozer might go number 2.
Just because of the IQ.
The IQ, the feel, the reliability, the maturity. Like, Darren Peterson is the best guard prospect we've had in 15 years. as a prospect.
But everyone's concerned that he's got a 2-cent head.
And when we're talking about that kind of thing, you're just like, man, what are we doing here? OG Anunoby, unbelievable defender. He's like the highest level role player you have in the league. Mikal Bridges is a great two-way player. Josh Hart is a great two-way player. Cat is the best three-point shooting big man of all time. Jalen Brunson, despite his size, has the most unbelievable footwork you've ever seen.
They're calling him the best closer in the NBA.
But he gets it done. There's almost a little bit of Derek Jeter to him. I think he's being elevated beyond who he is.
Especially being in New York.
And being in New York.
New York being basketball city. New York being baseball city.
But it doesn't take away from his greatness. He is very, very, very good.
Jeter is not the greatest shortstop of all time. Probably not in the top 10. But he won titles and was on the right teams.
And he was a closer. How many moments does Jeter have?
6, 7, 8, 9,
the hit,
10.
the catch, the backstab. Like, how many of these do we have?
The home run, Mr. November, flying into the seats. Yeah, the flip, the jump throw. Yeah, you name it.
How many does Brunson have?
They're starting to add up.
So, like, that part of it is huge. And that goes back to Jalen Brunson is not as good as he is in spite of his shortcomings. Quite literally, his shortcomings. Outside of his IQ, his feel, his understanding. What is Jalen Brunson? The son of an NBA player. He gets it. He understands it. And I've been talking to executives and scouts around the league. We are seeing a massive, massive, massive push in the NBA for second and third generation players. Dylan Harper, anybody? That's Ron Harper's son. Everyone's like, well, what about Bronny James? Like, Bronny James wouldn't be in the league if his dad wasn't LeBron, and I'm not talking about his dad getting him there. I'm talking about the mentality, the IQ, the development, the things that came along with that. Cam Boozer is another one of those guys.
Hell, dude, you could throw the Ball family out there.
Yes.
Like, dad is a little...
Psychopath.
Is a little rough to be around. But Lonzo was smart. LaMelo is talented. Lonzo is a very smart basketball player.
If you gave LaMelo's talent with Lonzo's brain and maturity,
all-star, first team.
That dude's a monster. Mm-hmm. That dude's a monster. And that, to be honest, look, you want to talk about like the trades we've seen of players that are like, I don't really want this guy anymore. Like the Trae Youngs of the world, the Ja Morants of the world. It's like, it's not the talent. It's the fact that their soft skills are horrid. They're horrid. They're guys that are, like Trae Young is not liked. Mm-hmm. He's a raging D-bag to basically, like, I don't know a guy in the league currently that's disliked more by his former teammates than him. It's Ja at least still has friends in the league, but like Trae's talented, but guys just don't vibe with him. Josh Hart, you vibe with. Mikal Bridges, you vibe with. Jalen Brunson, you vibe with. Cat, he's a little zesty. He's a little different. Mitchell Robinson, guys love him.
But I think that's a great way. I don't know where OG went to school. Where did OG go to college? Or
Indiana.
did he go to college?
Indiana.
He went to Indiana. Yeah. Do you know who his coach was? When he was at Indiana?
Was it Crean?
Tom Crean. My point is, now not all college basketball players translate to the NBA, but there are specific coaches that require high IQ.
Yes, Crean.
And then it is Tom Crean. Tom Crean is like this, who I'm going to say these other two dudes. There are coaches that do require you to have high IQ. Now, Calipari, for example, at Kentucky, he required high IQ, but didn't always get it because he would sometimes still take the Michael Kidd-Gilchrist.
Crazy talent.
Who I loved Michael Kidd-Gilchrist at Kentucky. I thought he was phenomenal. But you're right. Got to the NBA and couldn't play. Jay Wright requires you to be a smart player. And he will make up for your lack of efficiencies in other ways because he's a damn good
Marquette,
coach.
Wes Matthews, Dwayne Wade, Jay Crowder. Just go down the list of guys. Jimmy Butler.
Bucket.
Like, think the list of guys that came out of Marquette under Tom Crean. Like,
so Bridges, Brunson, and Hart are all really high IQ guys. Even if I don't like some of their play, they are all very, very smart guys.
Dante.
DiVincenzo.
Like,
and that's where this Cam Boozer thing comes in. It's Shire post Krzyzewski. So it's still that high IQ. Because some guys, they'll just, Sean Miller's like this. He'll just take your talent.
Yep.
And he'll deal with your ego, and he'll get the best out of you.
And there's a place for that.
There's
100% a place for that. But
because those guys got to go play somewhere.
Yep.
DeAndre Ayton's got to play somewhere.
Yep. And that's the thing is like, but when it comes down to it, the guys who, like, yes, guys have, Jalen Brunson is supremely talented, but it's also work. Mikal Bridges is talented. Cat is literally the best three-point shooting big man of all time. Like, he holds that mantle. Like, volume, percentage. There ain't been a 7-footer that could touch him. Dirk's the only guy.
How much did Jalen Brunson's game evolve from working with Luka in Dallas?
Insane amounts.
Well, in playing off of him, and then when Luka gets hurt and Brunson takes over.
That's the start of the Brunson takeover.
Yes.
Well, let's put it this way. It got to the point where Dallas couldn't have both of them on the team because they play the same position.
Well, they could, and they should have.
They could.
They lowballed the crap out of Brunson, and Brunson
Kyrie.
went to free agency. Well, it was even before that. It's not the biggest mistake they made trading Luka, but they could have paid. They had a deal in place that Brunson was going to sign, and then they lowballed that, and he was like, "All right, dude, I'll go to free agency."
And then the Knicks hired his dad, and he was like, "See ya."
Well, I mean, Rick was already there, and that once that happened, that boat sailed.
Real quick before we get out of here, we'll switch over to the Western Conference. What do the Knicks got to do in the next 7-8 days before the finals start to get ready for both of these teams who are going to be heavily favored against them? Yeah.
Pray.
I kind of think so too, and it's going to be a really crappy way to end the season for Knicks, whether you're the four-letter network that really wants to push them or for Knicks fans themselves who should celebrate being in the finals. It's been a long time. It's been a long time to be basketball mecca. And dude, if we're wrong, that would be awesome. I don't think we will be.
We had Gulliver on last week, and I asked him about the Knicks. I was like, "Do you think they have a chance?" And he goes, "You never know in the NBA, man. Like, look at the Pacers last year and where they were with OKC. It's like it can happen. Like, look at the Blue Jays with the Dodgers last year.
Sure.
It's Game 7, extra innings. Like, you play the games to play the games. Like, the Knicks are shooting the living crap out of the ball. They hit 19 threes. They scored a $130 on the Cavs. Like, their point differential is just absolutely bonkers. Now, OKC and San Antonio present significantly different defensive abilities.
If Wemby's out there, Karl Anthony has to have a ridiculously great shooting.
He's got to have 30 a night.
In that entire playoff series.
He's got to make Wemby work and pull him out of the paint because I'll tell you what, right now, we're about ready to talk about the Western Conference and the Spurs and the Thunder. Go look how many points the Thunder are scoring in the paint right now. It ain't happening.
But I would also attest to if you put Chet Holmgren on Cat, it's going to be a difficult time too. I just think both those teams match up so poorly, or the Knicks match up so poorly defensively against those teams because Brunson's going to get hunted, Cat's going to get hunted, Bridges and Hart
And they both have the
OG
ability.
can only do so much. And yeah, like if I was saying this to you before the show, if Bridges is on SGA, which is what you would do, or if Bridges is on Steph Castle, which is what you would do, they're going to find ways to switch and get a Brunson on him, and that's bad news.
Oh, they're going to play bring me Jalen Brunson, bring me Karl Anthony Towns. And the thing is, like, if you're putting Steph Castle or De'Aaron Fox or Dylan Harper as the primary ball handler with Wemby as the screener, and you're bringing Cat out or you're bringing Mitch out,
it ain't going to go well. I know. That's why I feel bad for Knicks fans. Not my cup of tea. I grew up a Pacers fan. I'm not a Knicks fan. It's going to come crash down. But enjoy it while you can. Party in the streets.
And I'll say this. The three-pointer is the great equalizer. If the Knicks are hitting threes like this and Wemby has to come out, all of a sudden there's room for Jalen Brunson to operate.
Because we're kind of starting to see a little bit of the game plan. Let's go over to the Western Conference. Best of 3 now. Game 5 is tonight. How we got here and where we're going forward. There's Casey over there. He's got sports.
Now, from the George McCoy at Warren Allen Sports Desk, a Sports Center update on the Fan Sports Network, 105.1 FM and 1080 AM.
First on the Fan, some NBA updates for you as the New York Knicks are advancing to the NBA Finals for the first time in 27 years. The Knicks took home their 4-0 sweep of the Cleveland Cavaliers, wrapping up the series last night with a 130-93 victory inside Rocket Arena in Cleveland. Karl Anthony Towns finished with a team-high 19 points in the contest as 5 other players for the Knicks once again finished the game in double figures. The Knicks will have a bit of a wait for Game 1 of the Finals as tonight we get geared up for Game 5 of the Western Conference Finals as the series between the Spurs and the Thunder is tied at 2-2. The Thunder are 5.5-point favorites coming into the contest as we are set for a 5:30 tip-off. Over to the WNBA as your Portland Fire took down the New York Liberty 81-74 on the road in New York. Carla Leet led the way for the Fire as she finished with 18 points and 2 assists. The Fire will be back in action tomorrow for a 7 p.m. tip-off as they take on the 1-win Connecticut Sun in the Moda Center. Your Portland Timbers fell 3-1 to the San Jose Earthquakes over the weekend, and if you missed it yesterday, the Portland Timbers and head coach Phil Neville have mutually agreed to part ways. Neville compiled a 27, 31, and 24 record in his 2.5 seasons with the Timbers, and the Timbers will now start their search for a new head coach during this World Cup break. And for more sports scores and stories in 30 minutes, I'm Lowercase from the George McCoy at Warren Allen Sports Desk. Hurt, missing work, insurance companies acting like jerks. Don't call your mom. Call George McCoy at WarrenAllen.com.
The home of the firm of Harris.
All NBA defense teams came out over the weekend. I did not miss that. But if there's anything else I missed, please text that in. We'll get to that in the big nooner.
Trailblazer was pretty pissed about that, and it wasn't the guy left off the team.
Oh, really?
Donovan was like, I don't see Tumani Kamara on here. Why isn't he on here?
Ooh, we'll get to that in 15 minutes because that's a little spicy. But here we are, Game 5 tonight in the Western Conference Finals series tied 2-2. I don't know where to start with this. There's just so much to get into with this series. It's been so wild. We had a feeling, Danny, that we would get here, but I don't think we realized this is how we would get here. Okay, Game 1, an all-timer. Just an all-time game in general with an all-time performance by Victor Wembanyama. Game 2, OKC comes out, handles business kind of like you thought they would, ties the series. Game 3, OKC walks into San Antonio, kind of punches them in the mouth, despite San Antonio going up, 15-0? Spotted them 15, and
that
OKC
place was rolling.
And OKC just kept chipping away, going on runs, and eventually wins that game.
Harper didn't quite have it. You could tell he was fighting a little bit, and then Steph could not take care of the ball again. And
then you have Game 4 with an utter and absolute domination from the Spurs, which I could argue maybe you probably saw coming. I think OKC takes Game 3, and they're like, we're good. Let's make it a 3-game series. We all knew it was going to get here somehow. Let's go back home and work on this back home.
This thing's going 7.
I hope so. I sure hope so. I still believe that the Oklahoma City Thunder are the better team. I think Victor Wembanyama is the best player on the floor. I think Dylan Harper is the best player off the bench for either teams. OKC to me, even if Mitchell's out and J-Dub's questionable for tonight, I just think they're deeper, and I think they're a little more dynamic in creation. But boy, I don't feel super confident about that. This This is literally Terrell Owens, get your popcorn ready, and just sit back and watch basketball. And thank you, basketball gods, for that, because the East has not given me that. At least the West is giving me something that I can just enjoy as a sports fan. We talked about this after Game 1. We stopped watching Game 1 because we do this for a living. We kept watching it because we like basketball, and we just became fans again.
The Spurs in Game 4 did what this is the version of the Spurs that scares the crap out of me. It's not what they do offensively. The Thunder, as great as they are offensively, did not score more than 22 and a quarter. Think of how great the Thunder are offensively, how efficient they are, how many different ways they can score. The Spurs said, absolutely the hell not. You want to take a look at here's your backbreakers. Thunder gave up 25 to 13 points off turnovers. Almost got doubled up points off turnovers. Fast break points, 7 for the Thunder. 7
fast break in the whole game?
To 18 to the Spurs.
Wow.
Points in the paint, 36 for the Thunder. 50 for the Spurs.
And the 37 for the Thunder is not bad, 37 to 50, considering they have Wembanyama. I will still die on this hill. I do not know why. In the Game 4 game plan, had 50 points in the paint. That should be the game plan every game. Look, I know Hartenstein's pulling on Wemby. I know Holmgren's pulling on Wemby. I know Caruso's pulling on Wemby. And, I mean, kudos to the refs. I'm down to let that stuff go. I want this to be a street fight. I'm cool with that. But the idea that the Thunder or that the Spurs sometimes get away from just throwing it to the alien and letting him do stuff is beyond me.
One of the changes that the Spurs have really done offensively with Wemby in the last couple of games is letting him catch the ball in the middle of the floor.
Mm-hmm.
Because he's 7'6", he can see over everything. He came back in. The Thunder started to make a little bit of a push. I think it was the second quarter shift that he came in. It was either the second quarter shift or third quarter. I'm trying to remember off the top of my head. But he catches there's a pin down there trying to get the switch to get Hartenstein off him, and I think they were trying to get either McCain or Mitchell. I can't remember who it was. They were trying to get one of the other smaller guards onto him, and the switch didn't happen, but Hartenstein lagged behind. So Wemby was able to make a catch right at the elbow, clean and face up. When he catches clean, number one, he can jab, he can go, he can put the ball down on the floor, or because Hartenstein's trying to recover, and a step in the NBA is like a step in the NFL. You're cooked. Mm-hmm. At that point in time, you're in a trail position, and you're fighting, and you've got to worry about Wemby either putting the ball on the floor and getting to the rim, and you have to collapse the defense, and he's so big, he just fires it over the top to the corner. And what do the Thunder do? They all help in. So you can see everybody already starting to pinch in. Wemby sees it, and because he's 7'6" and Hartenstein's not there, raises over the top of him, cans a mid-range shot. And you're like, well, crap, what do I do with that? Because if he can just rise up and hit that shot and the defense is packed in, now I'm worried about that. Now Hartenstein's got to close out a little bit harder, get a little tighter, and what happens then? There's space behind the defense. There's somebody who's open for a back cut. Or Wemby, if Hartenstein steps up and he gets by him, now he's by him. And what do we see with Wemby when he gets a step into the paint? It's over. A dunk every time.
Hammer.
Because Chet can't come in and help that far away. It's just like, so what are you doing? That's the evolution of what the Spurs are doing. It's getting Wemby in the middle of the floor facing the basket. There was in the first couple of games, there's a lot of DHO action with Wemby.
What is DHO?
Dribble handoff. So you get that dribble handoff action at the top of the 3-point line, or sometimes on the wings. But Wemby's got his back to the basket, and when he does that, he's less of a threat. When they get him moving side to side and they get the defense shifting side to side so they can't load up and he's catching on the run, or there's a switch, or there's something defensively where they have to worry about that gravity. Now all of a sudden, when they start to compress the floor and they're kicking out, it's wide open threes. Now you're picking your poison. And with Wemby, if he's always a threat, if his back isn't to the basket, now he can see where the help's coming from. Caruso can't pop up and dig. It's the Jokic question. Jokic is the best, it's not even best big. He's the best player in the world with his back to the basket. And they'll get him on the high post, and he knows he can just feel it. If somebody's coming from that backside, like let's say it's Denver OKC and Caruso's in the corner and Jokic is at the right elbow with his back to the basket, leaning like he's going to spin middle, or if he's going to spin to the sideline, He knows Caruso's coming, and without even missing a beat, he will flip that ball over there immediately. Or he'll bait it, and a rotation will come from the backside that's trying to cover up for that, and he'll fire it back to the other. That's just the IQ. That's the supercomputer that Jokic has. You're eliminating that for Wemby by letting him face the basket and see the floor. When he can see the floor, he's 7'6". Who's taking away his eye line? Nobody.
The rim. Two things I want to throw at you. One, shout out to Mark D on kind of figuring out how to use Hartenstein.
Yeah, he's getting something out of it.
He's kind of and new Trailblazer head coach and Donovan Clingan, take notes. Like, you're in the West. Any big guy in the West, take notes of what Mark D and Isaiah are doing, because he's not big enough to cover Wemby. Nobody is. But they are figuring out little ways to disrupt his rhythm, and that's how you got to do. You're not going to block him. You're not going to put your hands up and stop him. But if you can disrupt his rhythm and cadence, you can survive it. Number two that I'll throw at you, Danny, we talked about this in the Eastern Conference. Detroit not ready. Orlando not ready. We thought they were. They're taking their lumps in weird ways. San Antonio in this series is still taking their lumps.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why
processing it like that.
And that's why when you hear us talk about it, national people, other people on our station as well, about why the Spurs are so scary in the future.
They're learning.
Is they're this good and they're still taking their lumps.
And they're not optimized yet.
No,
That's
they
the
aren't.
crazy thing about this.
Because what you saw in Game 4 could be the blueprint on how they win multiple titles.
Defensively, just being a monster.
And if Steph holds onto the ball and hits threes, and you got a viable point guard in De'Aaron Fox, and you got some kid who can drop 25 off the bench, you're in a pretty good spot.
The terrifying thing about this is the Spurs beat the living crap out of the Thunder, and they shot under 40% from the field. Was it under 30% from three? They shot like crap and beat the hell out of them because their defense is that good. Because Wemby had 33 points, 8 boards, 5 assists, and 5 stocks.
And who's a guy that we've been talking about the entire start of the series who just went MIA last night? Alex Caruso.
Oh, yeah. No,
Alex Caruso has been
played 14 minutes and got crushed.
Best shooter. Let me go out there, set the pace, so then we can start to piece these runs together. Alex Caruso
and
put
McCain
up a
and Wiggins.
donut hole last night.
McCain and Wiggins couldn't hit a shot to save their lives.
We can circle back around this in closing arguments and kind of preview the game tonight and take a piece at that. No AJ Mitchell, J-Dub questionable, but the Spurs look healthy. Is that my memory correct? Injury report wise,
yeah.
Spurs are pretty much good to go. Dude, side note real quick, I didn't realize that Harrison Barnes started over 70 games for the Spurs this season, and sometimes doesn't play. That's I couldn't wrap my brain around that.
That's pulling the strings, and I know we're up against it, but we can talk about this a little bit later. Did you see who gave the speech after the Game 3 loss?
That would be Greg Popovich. This is not how we do things here. It's BS. Feisty old man coming in and telling you to knock that S off.
Old man using a walker who had a stroke and is fighting it.
Telling you to quit bleepity bleepity bleep.
Quit being soft on yourself. That hits different.
Yeah, no one likes cool, fun grandpa yelling at you.
Nope.
Speaking of great defense, the all NBA defensive teams came out and what? We're missing somebody here, right? 105.1 The Fan.
The new home.
A lot to get to in the 11 o'clock hour. We'll get into a little bit of Timbers as they've made a change in leadership over there. Jake Zivin and I will sit down with Ned Grabavoy this evening during Timbers Fan, which you can catch from 7 to 8 right here, the general manager of the Portland Timbers, as they have agreed to mutually part ways with head coach Phil Neville. That's tonight. We'll talk a little bit about that. In hour number 2, we'll get into some Blazer coaching updates because I think I just found out Casey Smith is now a candidate finalist for the Blazers head coaching position. What I missed over the weekend, sports or the world, please help fill me in because I feel like a little bit like a lost boy. We'll do that in the Big Nooner, and it's a free consultation Tuesday as well. The Kia, what is it? It's the 2025 Kia Performance Awards, and the all-defensive first team and second teams were released. Real quick, we'll go through it. Second team, Scotty Barnes, Kaysen Wallace, Bam Adebayo, OG Anunoby, and Dyson Daniels. And then your first team is Derek White, Rudy Gobert, Asar Thompson, Chet Holmgren,
My good friend Wembanyama.
and that guy in San Antonio. Wait a sec. Where's Toumani Camara on this list?
Just off of it.
I was kind of surprised to see that. Now, you are my more rational, sometimes, NBA guy, and you tell me you kind of assumed this. I think, and this is where some of us fans, especially locally, that kind of diehard eat, sleep, and breathe Blazers, are kind of curious how a guy who sets a damn near an unattainable record in drawing offensive fouls doesn't make first team or second team All-NBA.
There needs to be a third team all defense, just like
I was
this.
kind of curious why there wasn't a
All-NBA
third team.
Two ended up exactly where I thought he would be, and a lot of that had to do with where the Blazers' defense was this year. Something I don't think a lot of people were really talking about. We talked about on this show from March 1st on. The Blazers had the second best defense in the NBA. The only team better was the Thunder, and both those defenses were really good. Like, there was a sizable gap between those two teams and everybody else. Everybody can say, well, it was, it's a soft schedule down the stretch. Like, it was the first time the team was healthy. It was the first time that
A little lighter schedule, too. Let's not forget that.
I know, but they didn't have their full roster until the play-in game.
Yeah.
They were finally able to get guys out there and play the way that they wanted to play again. That the narrative around those things, team defense, will play into those if you're not a first-team guy. That's just the reality of it. We talked about this when you were out at the player poll. Toumani was 8th or 9th among players as the best defensive player in the NBA.
Because they probably just hate going up against him.
I have talked to a dozen All-Stars that have played him over the last 2 years. Every single one of them laughs and kind of throws their heads back like, I hate playing him. He's just a pain in the ass.
Especially if you are the high-efficiency scoring guard on another team, and Toumani comes up to you with his size and that bullsh thrown at you. Yeah, it's going to piss you off.
The first guy I talked to, I'm not going to name him.
You should. I dare you.
I go, hey, man, what'd you think of 2 tonight? And he threw his head back and laughed, and he said, bleep that guy. He just starts laughing. I was like, he's got it? And he's like, dude, he goes, he picked me up at 85 the whole game. He goes, I was tired of his ass at halftime.
I like that players laugh and giggle about that, which means Toumani's a good guy. You're like, I just can't stand I can't stand it when I have to play this guy.
And 2 is probably one of the best conditioned dudes in the entire league.
Let's trade him straight up for Kawhi Leonard. What do you think?
I mean,
you wouldn't say no to that.
it's like, 2, I love you.
But you got to go.
But
This guy can give me 20 and what you do.
Yeah, it's like,
You can put it on the board.
You going, buddy.
but at the end of the year, 2 covered more ground than anybody defensively. Played 82 games. He set the NBA record for most offensive fouls run. Where 2 doesn't shine is in the pretty stats. The steals, the blocks, the deflections.
Defensive rebounds.
Doesn't stalk a lot.
No.
Not a big stock guy, but his role.
But sit in front of ball handler, one of the best in the league. It's guys like him, Dyson Daniels, Asar, and Amen Thompson. Like, you want a guy who's going to sit down in front of somebody and just wear somebody out.
Chris Dunn.
Those are probably your best sit down in front of you. Your life is going to be hell defenders. Like that group of guys.
Yet everyone else on this list, they're given to big men. This is a center's forwards stacked
Real
up.
quick, anybody else confused as to why Rudy Gobert's first team all defense wasn't top 3 in the defensive player of the year? Anybody else?
I am confused by that. Raising hand. Casey and I are raising our hand
It's
right
like,
now.
what the hell are we doing? I don't understand it. Like, this is not anti-Rudy for anybody who's wondering. This is why wasn't Rudy Gobert one of the 3 best three finalists for defensive player of the year? Because if Victor Wembanyama doesn't exist, it's Gobert. Not Chet Holmgren doesn't guard Wemby. He's scared of him.
He disappears. You know, we've only almost been doing this for a year, Danny, and I think one of the more surprising things I've learned about you is how much you love Rudy Gobert.
It's not that I love Rudy. It's the fact that
He's just good.
He's just really freaking good.
The
And
hate
peop-
makes no sense
It's
a
like,
lot of the time.
It's like you just don't like him. That's fine. Say both things can exist. Say like Draymond Green, perfect example. Tell me you don't like Draymond Green. Fine. Do not tell me he's buns. Do not tell me he's overrated.
Oh, since Arizona State, I've hated Jim Harden. He's a top 5 scorer of all time.
Both things can be true.
Yep.
You can tell me, oh, Kevin Durant's this, that, and the other. I don't care. He's the best scorer in the history of the game.
I like
Miss me
Reggie.
with the nonsense.
I like Reggie over Ray Allen. Ray Allen was pretty good.
It's like, think like you can have nuance in these discussions. And look, I 2 was probably like one of my last cuts for all defensive team. Like when I was doing it, I was like, take the bias out of it, take the bias out of it, take the bias out of it. I love to. I was like, he's right on the edge. He's just right on the edge. And if he had prettier, because that's the thing is like you're in Portland, you won 42 games. If they'd won 50 games, 2's on this team. 2's on this team. Narrative does play a part in that because defensive metrics aren't good.
Well, I've talked about this all the time. Narrative is probably larger in the NBA than any other sport.
Oh, it is.
Because, like, let me take my sport, baseball, for example. Kyle Schwarber, he got sick, so he missed like 4 or 5 days and has kind of struggled a little bit, like got out of his rhythm. Kyle Schwarber could easily win the NL MVP this year. If Shohei Ohtani has an under 3 ERA and hits 40 home runs, 35 home runs, he's going to win it. Baseball won't prevent you. Barry Bonds has 7 MVPs. Baseball, if you get it, there's no voter fatigue.
No.
To where,
Are you the best player in the world? There you go.
there you go. And, you know, if I make my way to A sometime this summer, I'm going to put a future bet in on Cade Cunningham winning the MVP next year because narratives in basketball are real. And you're right. I wish, even if you are correct in the sense that Tumani deserves to be just outside, I do wish there was a world in which all sports, we can reward guys for being very, very good and very, very elite at what they do in these specific categories and take out win-loss record. Alex Rodriguez won, I believe, 3 MVPs in Texas, never made the playoffs
Because he was that good.
because he was 50 and 40. That's why. Because he was that good.
Is there a guy in Anaheim that we love to talk about all the time?
And that guy's got 3 of them himself, you know, and has one playoff series, and it was a 3-game series, and they got swept.
Random aside, 14 years ago today, I had it pop up on my phone. I saw Mike Trout make his full-time debut up in Seattle against the Mariners with the Angels.
That's pretty awesome.
I was like, oh, that was 14 years ago?
Do you know since 2014, 2014 or something, he's still top 5 WAR? Mm-hmm. And that's with like 3 seasons of being
Missed.
hurt. Yeah.
The only one on here, going back to the all defense, you were talking about narrative, Scotty Barnes. He was a very good defender this year, but he's bumped up the list because of his offensive burden. He was still that good at, like, look at everybody else on this list. Kaysen Wallace, OG Anunoby, Dyson Daniels. Bam, I give him the love because he does have the offensive burden as well, but he's also a very good defender. But Kaysen Wallace is a defender. OG's a secondary creator. Dyson Daniels is a defender. Like, you just kind of look at those guys. And you're just like, yeah, I think Scotty got a little bit of that. But when you get into the guys that just missed it, Steph Castle, Amen Thompson, Draymond Green, Tumani Kamara, Chris Dunn.
I love all those guys. Defensively, I love them all.
To be honest, if there's a third team, that's it. That's your third team.
Yeah, probably.
So,
I think Amen Thompson a little underrated on this list. I think Tumani Kamara a little underrated on this list.
and
as
Chris
well.
Dunn.
But I love Donovan, as you mentioned. Donovan going to bat for his guy.
Donovan was on IG. He's like, where's too many buckets here? For those that don't know, that's too many buckets.
Too many buckets. I
That's-
have not caught that one
That's
yet.
his IG handle.
Oh, that's Tumani's
Two.
IG. Too many buckets. I enjoy that. Let's get into this. The axe finally fell, literally and figuratively, as the Timbers have made a change of leadership. Loaded hour number 2. Don't go anywhere. 105.1 The Fan and the Fan Sports Network.
Indeed.
From the George McCoy and Warren Allen Sports Desk, a Sports Center update on the Fan Sports Network, 105.1 FM and 1080 AM.
First on the Fan, some NBA updates for you as the New York Knicks are advancing to the NBA Finals for the first time in 27 years. The Knicks took home their 4-0 sweep of the Cleveland Cavaliers, wrapping up the series last night with a 130-93 victory inside Rocket Arena in Cleveland, as Karl Anthony Towns finished with a team-high 19 points in the contest, as 5 other Knicks players once again finished the game in double figures. The Knicks will have a bit of a wait for Game 1 of the Finals, as tonight we get geared up for Game 5 of the Western Conference Finals, as the series between the Spurs and the Thunder is tied at 2-2. The Thunder are 5.5-point favorites coming into the contest, as we are set for a 5:30 tip-off. Over to the WNBA, as your Portland Fire took down the New York Liberty 81-74 on the road in New York, as Carla Leet led the way for the Fire as she finished with 18 points and 2 assists. The Fire will be back in action tomorrow for a 7 p.m. tip-off as they take on the one-win Connecticut Sun inside the Moda Center. Your Portland Timbers fell 3-1 to the San Jose Earthquakes over the weekend, and if you missed it yesterday, the Portland Timbers and head coach Phil Neville have mutually agreed to part ways. Neville compiled a 27-31-24 record in his 2.5 seasons with the Timbers, and they will now start their search for a new head coach during this World Cup break. And for more sports scores and stories in 30 minutes, I'm Lowercase from the George McCoy at Warren Allen Sports Desk. Hurt, missing work, insurance companies acting like jerks. Don't call your mom, call George McCoy at warrenallen.com.
The Fan is live on YouTube and Twitter.
No, we're in hour number deuce. 105.1 The Fan and the Fan Sports Network. If you missed it in the first hour, you can download that, the Fan Podcast, 1051thefan.com, the Odyssey app, and wherever you get your audio. If you missed Dirt and Sprague this morning, and if you can't catch Primetime Live, you can always go back and check those, rewind or fast forward, except for in the future, for that would be impossible. Coming up this hour, we'll talk a little bit about coaching on your 2 local teams, as both are now in the business of new leadership, potentially on one side, but definitely on another. We'll sneak a little baseball in this hour as well, plus web gems. A reminder, it is a free consultation Tuesday, so you get those in. Anything you need advice with, your love life, your work life, your sports life, whatever it may be, we're here to help you at 12:15. Also, we'll play a little fun game of what did I miss over the last weekend, whether it's sports or the real world. You can let me know. We'll do that at the Big Nooner. Check us out on YouTube. 1051 The Fan is the channel. Like and subscribe. Jump in the chat and hang out with us, but be nice to each other over there. It was announced yesterday. I caught it. I got the official email. I was on my way back from Idaho, that the Portland Timbers and Phil Neville mutually agreed to part ways. Now, Merritt Paulson, Ned Grabavoy came out a few weeks ago, maybe a little over a month ago, and said they want to put all resources and efforts into this team leading up to the World Cup break, which is now, and we'll reevaluate there. Now, I don't want to sit here and try to decide how this all went down, whether it was mutually agreed upon and who approached who and all that, but it was time. I think that there is a level of talent on this team that just was not being exposed enough, that was not being tapped into enough, and unfortunately, Phil's tenure is over. Look, for the record, Phil is a very nice guy. He is a very nice guy. He's very likable, easy to talk to. He's awesome in press conferences.
Been around the game forever.
He takes questions in English and in Spanish. Like, he is pretty good at the press conference. And for most coaches that hate talking to media, Phil's pretty good about it. I think just tactically and getting the best out of players and lineups in 2.5 seasons, it just wasn't enough. And now the Timbers take a reset.
I mean, if you're going to take a reset, what better time to take it?
And that's the whole point. You're basically going to get a 3-week break, a 4-week break, and you're kind of in a new preseason right now. So you can reset. It's not quite halfway through the season, but it's enough time of a break that you can figure somebody out. We're going to talk to Ned Grabavoy tonight on Timbers Fan from 7 to 8, and that'll be one of the questions that I ask him. You know, are they looking for somebody short-term?
Is it a caretaker manager, or is this somebody you're trying to look at for the long haul?
Yeah, I imagine it's going to be the long haul because of the weird sprint season next year. But look, the Timbers sit 13th in the standings. They just lost 3-1 to San Jose over the weekend. Morale is low around the club. Mm-hmm. You know, I have felt it, and the people that I talk to, it's tough because what Merritt Paulson and the history of the Timbers have said is that they compete for championships. Mm-hmm. And this team's been to 3 MLS Cups in the last 11 years, has won one of them, and this town has the best fans in the country, and it's time to figure this out. I don't know candidates. I'll be excited to talk to Jake Zivin about that. But it's just kind of sometimes how it goes. We see the writing on the wall.
Especially in that sport.
You see the writing on the wall, and sometimes in that sport, I think they do it a little too much.
Well, this is the 5th this year in the MLS, isn't it?
I believe so.
Yeah.
And go over to the Premier League.
Brother.
I got Brandon Sprague into EPL, and he I kind of leaned him into choosing.
I would say he's on his 3rd already,
Nottingham
isn't he?
Forest. I think they're on their 4th.
In the same season.
Yeah. Chelsea's had multiple managers this year. Manchester United has multiple I don't like pulling the rug like that.
That's what they do in that sport. Like, you want to talk about a sport that changes managers, changes coaches to whatever you want to call it, leadership. There is no sport in the world that burns through them more than soccer.
I don't like pulling the rug out fast. Mm-hmm. With Phil, it was probably time, especially because the fans were starting to turn. I saw stickers being passed out at the Timbers match on Saturday, which you can always catch right here on the Fan, your home of the Portland Timbers, that said "Bye Felicia" on stickers.
Felicia?
Yeah, and the crowd started chanting Phil out, and there's signs.
Have we ever had a flyover?
What do you mean?
Like the biplane with the message behind it?
I don't know if I've ever seen one of those.
That's a super popular one in England.
Yes,
they love a good flyover with fire, or insert whoever out.
Mm-hmm.
I would like to see that sometime.
It's going to be interesting to see who comes in, and I'm excited to talk to Ned Grabavoy, and we'll have that interview for you tomorrow as well, because I'm curious what he thinks is the identity of this team. You know, is this a defensive team? Is this an offensive team? Is this a counter-based? Is this ball control and possession? Is this slow the other team down? Is it speed them up? Because that's been the biggest struggle. At the beginning of the season, I thought this Timbers team had a lot of talent. And now I'm just confused because I don't know if it's talent.
Basically, everybody we've had on, I've had some version of what do they think that the Timbers should be doing tactically? Mm-hmm. And it is run the gamut of they should be more aggressive. They should be slower, and they should play on the counter. They should be a more possession-based team. They should, absorb and look to play the long ball. It's been kind of all over the place, which kind of makes you wonder about how this team is built as well. Mm-hmm. What is the strong suit of this team? When you look at this team, what do you see as the strongest part of this roster?
Goalkeeping. James Pantemis.
So should you be a team that tries to play out of the counter and has that ability, but also is Pantemis a guy that can play out of the back and get things going? It's this isn't Tim Howard back here who's going to look up the wing and go, let me go and fire it up there to somebody. That's also not a part of who he is. So now you have to kind of look at, am I a counterattacking team that absorbs, or do I play a little bit more aggressively and lean on my attack because I do have a good keeper back there? They're not a great holding midfield.
No, they are really not.
So do you really want to try to play on the counter and absorb all day? But they're not the best attacking midfield on the face of the planet either. So they're kind of an in-between. They're better when they're pushed up in the middle third. They're not a final third, execution-based team. They're more of that in-between, for me. They're more of that in-between, be aggressive in the middle third. But the problem with that is if you get stretched out in the middle third and your back line's not that great, if you're not that athletic, now you get put in positions of, oh crap, now I'm having to recover.
I'm kind of on the flip side of it where I want them to be way more aggressive in the final third of things, because I feel like they're picking out their shots and being a little bit too choosy at times in the final third, trying to pick out really that best opportunity rather than just getting as many shots and pressures on their defenses and on goalies as they possibly can. There's
a lot of issues that need to be figured out too. Is Anthony going to play?
Yeah.
Can Anthony really play? Or is it just a stud right foot with no control of your left? What is Aravena? I mean, there's just a lot of players on this team that have a lot of talent, but they were sold by their other teams for a reason.
Yes.
And that's a little scary right there. And that's something we'll probably ask Ned about.
And is that something, if you're talking about bringing in somebody who's not going to be a caretaker, somebody who's actually going to be in for the long haul, they're going to want to have input on that roster.
Yes. Well, that's the interesting thing, to take EPL for an example. Xabi Alonso just got hired by Chelsea, and Xabi was at Real Madrid before that, but before that was at Bayer Leverkusen, and they went undefeated. They did not lose, and they won the Bundesliga. Huge thing. And when he got hired at Chelsea, he was very, very stern that I am the manager and not the head coach. And that distinct variance is that as the manager, I have say in personnel.
Yes.
And that gives him a little bit more job security in the sense that they're not going to just pull the rug out of you.
But it's also, it does fall on you because
That's
it is
true.
your roster.
Because if it doesn't work, but it's kind of like we see this in the NFL with if you're Andy Reid or Bill Belichick. Some of those guys, they want full player personnel control. And if they get full player personnel control, it can work and it can kill you. Because in the end, when Belichick had full control, it was not pretty.
No.
And Andy Reid has done okay, I think, in having full control.
But at the end of the Andy Reid tenure in Philly, how did that look?
Not good. Not good at all. And are we seeing the end of the Andy Reid tenure in KC doing the same thing? That's what's tricky. Neville out. We'll talk to Grabavoy tonight. You can hear that at 7 o'clock right here on your home of the Timbers. Let's keep it in Portland. Let's keep it in coaching. Slide over to the Portland Trailblazers. And how many people are finalists now? I can't keep track of this. 105.1 The Fan.
The Fan Golf.
We'll sneak a little baseball here in a moment. It's a free consultation Tuesday. We'll do that at 12:15. Also, let me know what I missed over the weekend, sports or non-sports. We'll get to that at the top of the big nooner. Already got a couple in already. And don't forget, you can join us June 23rd as Toyota presents the Fan Golf Classic at Langdon Farms Golf Club. The afternoon round is sold out, and we have one foursome available for the morning round. That's right, just one. If you were on the fence about this, my friends, it is time to figure it out and make this happen.
Time to nut up or shut up.
It's the most fun day in golf with activations and tastings around the course. The infamous Angels Envy Bourbon Par 3 6th hole, where all of our hosts, Sturt, Sprague, Luke, Isaac, Suk, Danny, and myself will be posted up to heckle and admire your shots. Of course, we'll keep you fed with a post-round meal thanks to Matt's Barbecue. Head to 1051thefan.com, click on the Fan Golf Classic logo for more information, and sign up today. Again, there is one spot left in the morning. The Fan Golf Classic presented by Toyota, also brought to you by our friends at Vulcan Design and Construction, Henderson and Daughter Windows and Doors, George McCoy at Warren Allen Attorneys at Law, Battery Exchange, Maestro Dobel Tequila, Laurelhurst Market Steakhouse and Butcher Shop, Philbrook Law, 1-800-DIVORCE, Roto-Rooter, Il Legal Mezcal, Pub Beer, Cheap Fun, and Window Nation.
There's a drive in a deep left field by Castellanos. It will be a home run.
The thing that fascinated me over the weekend, Danny, was that I heard that there were 3 coaching candidates as finalists for the Portland Trailblazers. It's the assistant in Cleveland, Minnesota.
Well, there's more than that.
Well, it came across my time. I think I saw this on Friday. Mm-hmm. I was watching a little bit of whatever the basketball game was on Friday at that little restaurant that I was at, and I'm kind of scrolling through my phone trying to stay up to date on sports, and I saw the 3 finalists: the guy from Minnesota,
Mike Inori,
Jeff Van Gundy, mm-hmm. which tickled me, and Tiago Splitter. Mm-hmm. So it's like, okay, those are 3. There's a vet right there, the interim guy from home, and an outside candidate. I kind of liked the idea of an old school guy, the interim, and a new guy. Mm-hmm. Thought of balance, kind of different ways you could go with that. Then, as I get into town, I hear, well, this guy's a finalist too, and this guy, and this guy, and this guy. What the hell's going on over there?
Well, you've also got...
Is there 3 finalists, or is there 7 or 8 finalists?
There's more than that. You've got Mike Williams, who's the backbench coach for the Utah Jazz. You've got Tyler Lashbrook, who was the backbench coach for the Celtics and also the Maine Red Claws, who, funny enough, was a writer for SB Nation. When I was at Blazers Edge, he was at the 76ers site. I think we were in the same house in Las Vegas together 14 years ago, as weird as that is. Quite the come-up. Blog Boys stand up. You also have, Terry Stotts is throwing his name in the ring, and then you also have Jason Kidd. So for, the dirts of the world who want a search conducted, search has been conducted.
Search is being conducted.
In a terrible way.
How so?
Tiago Splitter's still the acting head coach.
Well, Chauncey Billups is still the head coach. It's a weird situation.
Tiago Splitter is still the acting head coach.
I do agree that the Tiago
part... Cut him loose or give him the job.
Tiago is a weird spot. I do agree with that, but the whole situation is weird. Again, the head coach of the Portland Trailblazers right now is Chauncey Billups.
Yes, legally.
Binding, contractually.
Not being paid.
Not being paid, but it's really strange. Side note, can you hire somebody as the head coach while having Chauncey Billups? So is there going to be some weird verbiage?
There's going to be some language in it, I'm sure. The lawyers will lawyer, both at the league and with the Trailblazers.
Is it illegal to have 2 head coaches?
There's probably something in the CBA that prohibits that.
2 guys doing one job. We got to do something about that.
And they will.
We're trying.
But, yeah, I just... The way this has been my problem with Dundon is the optics of everything. The whole F your feelings thing, fine, but you're pissing off guys. Mm-hmm. And there are multiple coaches that, number one, I saw somebody was saying the media's making up stuff in this whole thing. Nobody's made up anything. Everything has been factually true.
Yeah, we can get to the Bill Oram article as he sat down with Tom Dunn. We'll get to that tomorrow and some little bit of leftover stuff. When it comes to Tiago, I was just kind of thinking about this over the weekend. By the way, if you ever want just a nice, relaxing way to think about sports, go disappear for a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
And you can kind of stew on stuff.
Just dip your toe in it.
I have a very strong feeling that the reason this has all gone down in terms of in relation to Tiago Splitter is that he's not going to get the job.
Well, he wasn't, and then he was, and then he wasn't, and then he was.
And so it's kind of back to that F your feelings kind of thing. I don't have to worry about how Tiago Splitter feels about this because I'm not going to give him the job, and he's not going to be an assistant. Sounds like Chicago's interested in Tiago right now. They
have talked to Tiago.
And so, you kind of wish him well and send him on his way. It's probably not how I would do things. I would have probably kept things pretty wrapped up and let Tiago know, you are a finalist for this job, but we are going to do our diligence.
Mm-hmm.
And that would have been a fair route. And the reason you don't is because you're kind of showing your cards early. It's like I've worked in the restaurant business a lot, and there's like a bartender or a server who wants to be a manager, and, and an hourly manager shift opens up, and you talk to them about it, but you don't actually grant them an interview, but you do just to be nice. I mean, it's happened. It's happened to me, and I think the difference is there's no Twitter about what's going on in the Portland restaurant scene, although I do think that would be really cool. I am a firm believer that there should be trades in the restaurant industry.
There you go.
I really like that person.
Kegs.
I really like that AGM.
Mm-hmm.
I will trade you my bar manager and my 22-year-old up-and-coming server for that one.
There you go.
And you're kind of like, oh, we could use an upgraded bar manager.
A keg to be included later.
And that server, a keg to be included later. That server, they got a bright future.
Does the Chauncey of it all kind of maximize the worry about the issue? Because I feel like if this wasn't a Chauncey situation, if this wasn't, again, say if we're in a similar situation to the Chicago, new owner brings in a new coach, do we worry as much?
I don't think the Chauncey part of it has anything really necessarily to do with it. And a new owner is always going to want to put their fingerprint on everything, and that's that is
going down right now.
Yeah, and I am not rooting for Dundon to fail. I don't want that because that makes my life miserable. I want nothing to do with that. So I'm genuinely begging the guy to clean up the optics. It's just like, bro, I'm sick and tired of hearing about it. Somebody asked on the YouTubes if Denny and Dame would have input on the coaches. With authority, I'll say yes. For Dame, for sure. But as of right now, I don't think that's going to happen until they whittle it down to actual finalists. I saw some people, and I talked about this on Friday, the whole idea of like, how can Jeff Van Gundy be a finalist if he hasn't actually interviewed for the job? Well, it's very simple, guys. What they do is they talk to Jeff Van Gundy's agent, and they make sure everything lines up. And they've had those discussions through an intermediary. Then you request permission once you know that there is genuine interest.
I think I read something that Van Gundy could be had on the cheap, too, because he's desperate to get back into a head coaching role.
What does cheap actually look like? Because everybody I've talked to has said it's not the $1.5 million.
No. But if Van Gundy, let's say the Knicks run this back again with Van Gundy. Okay, let's say they fire Mike Brown. They're not going to. They're in the finals. But let's say they fire Mike Brown. They want to bring back Van Gundy. He's going to cost them $7.5. But can you get him at $4.5 because he really wants to come back? That would be a steal.
The way that
if Van Gundy can still coach, and I don't know if he can.
The way I've heard it phrased is Van Gundy asks for 5, he gets 4. Like, just to throw out a number. Because Dundon he's one of those guys that has to win the negotiation.
Yeah. I've got a buddy in a fantasy baseball league. He's our commissioner. He has to win every trade.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's like, I'll give you this garbage for Cam Schlittler.
And you're like, wait, what?
He's like the Miami Heat, okay, of the whole thing. Riddle me this, because I really needed some catch up, because there was so many names being thrown up as I was trying to catch up on this story that I just was like, I'm lost. I'm going to ask Marang. Where is the Jason Kidd in all this?
There's viability there. He has a relationship with Dundon. He's being paid $40 million to not coach. So everything, we went into this on Friday a little bit. The way it works in coaching is in the NBA is there's an offset. So the Mavs owe him 4 years, $40 million, so $10 million a year. If the Blazers gave him $1 million, the Mavs would owe him $9 million a year. The Blazers would pay $1 million. So whatever he gets from the Blazers is just offset by the Mavs.
Now, would Kidd...
But is he willing to do that for the ego?
That's what I'm asking.
That's the question.
Would Kidd take the cheap salary for 4 years in Portland just to keep Dallas on the hook for hosing him,
and
quote unquote?
We went into this. There's a former coach in the NBA, love him to death. He got fired from his job, and he took a consulting job with another team. He had the consulting team, if I remember right, pay him $20,000.
Yes.
Why? Because he wanted to give a double bird to the other organization. He also told me, because I think he had 2 years left on his deal.
Neil Olshey.
And he goes, I'll tell you right now, it was not Terry and it was not Neil. The organization he went to, when he was in town, he goes, don't get me wrong, I got 2 years left. When those 2 years are up, my salary's going back up.
Yeah.
But he goes, I wanted to keep them on the hook. I told my guys, nah, don't worry about it. I'm good.
See, I think Kidd should be in the same spot because if he's owed 4 more years from Dallas,
$10 million a year, $40 million.
wherever you go, take $1 million. Take the $1.5 million.
But
and keep Dallas on the hook. And if once those 4 years are up and you've done a good job in Portland, Tom Dundon will pay you.
Not $10 million a year.
Probably not.
But
you go to a couple Western Conference Finals, he might. He might.
I don't think so. I don't think that's the case. But look, prove me wrong. But alongside that, this is where the ego comes in. And Jason Kidd, you want to talk about ego? There's a lot of it. That's the problem with Jason Kidd. Masai Ujiri flat out said it. I fired him to prevent a power struggle.
Yeah.
And Kidd is a brilliant X's and O's coach, but as a personality and the ego and not to mention the character stuff, whether it's domestic violence or DUI, like Kidd's a basket case.
Also, remember, hey, bump me.
Yeah.
Drop the drink on the court.
Again, thinking outside the box, he's a brilliant basketball mind. One of probably the best basketball minds of the last 50 years. But when we're talking about the IQ, the feel, and the soft skills that go along with the stuff, is that what you want to bring into the group? But the flip side is, if you make a big trade, do you want to go, hey, here's a head coach in Mike Nori who has zero experience.
Yeah.
Here's Giannis Antetokounmpo. Here's Jason Tatum. Here's Jaylen Brown. Like, players that have won titles, won MVPs, won finals MVPs. Like, you want to hand him that and have him make those mistakes with that team?
With Budenholzer or Missoula, like well-accredited
accomplished head coaches.
Danny Marang, you are the general manager of the Trailblazers. You are choosing who?
Out of that group, I think it's either stick with Tiago or go with JVG.
Really?
I think that's
You're
where
cool
I'm
with
at.
the Van Gundy.
Again, this is the only reason I'm going to give Tiago the nod there is Tiago was a guy who played on title-winning teams for Greg Popovich.
And Van Gundy is a playoff choker. Be good defense if it was Van Gundy.
Look, I'm telling you right now.
Be a really good defense.
Van Gundy's defense is going to be legit. If you hire Van Gundy, I'm going to want to see a pretty creative offensive assistant. That's the world that I live in.
And if you hire Jason Kidd, I want to see if he can get something out of Scoot, assuming he's still on the team.
That's a question.
Because I'll tell you what, man, if I'm a point guard, if I'm an up-and-coming point guard.
So you've got Drew Holiday, Damian Lillard, and Jason Kidd. If you can't figure it out,
bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Later, dude.
Because those three dudes, that's
the accumulation of knowledge and understanding and IQ there, I don't think that's ever existed on a team.
Talent be damned in that conversation. Mm-hmm. The IQ alone.
I legitimately, I challenge anybody to come up with a point guard room better than that. When you're talking about knowledge, I don't think you can.
All across the board, too. You got Dame the scorer, you got Kidd the assist guy, and Drew the defense and leadership.
Well,
they're all leadership.
Kidd
could score.
Not just that. Kidd was a hell of a defender.
Yeah.
Again, we're talking about a top 5 3-point shooter of all time.
Yep.
Jason Kidd's the second best point guard of all time, in my opinion.
I
don't count Magic.
But look, I don't think you're crazy for saying
Steve Nash love?
I'll take Kidd.
Again,
Nash can't play defense.
Okay.
I don't think that's a higher than I would put him, but there's an argument you can make there. I can go, yeah, I get you. Yeah. I get you. I think Kidd is criminally underrated as a player. Criminally underrated.
Second all-time in triple-doubles, if I'm not mistaken.
No, Russ, Oscar, then I think Kidd.
Oh, that's right. He was second with the big O, and then Russ passed him. All right, when we come back...
He's 6th now.
God.
Oh, wow.
Jokic.
LeBron, Magic, Oscar, Jokic, Russell.
Oh, Magic was that high. Yeah. Okay. When we come back, let's get into a little bit of baseball and then Web Gems to finish up the hour. 105.1 The Fan. That's Casey over there with sports.
Now, from the George McCoy and Warren Allen Sports Desk, a Sports Center update on the Fan Sports Network, 105.1 FM and 1080 AM.
First on The Fan, some NBA updates for you as the New York Knicks are advancing to the NBA Finals for the first time in 27 years. The Knicks took home their 4-0 sweep of the Cleveland Cavaliers, wrapping up the series last night with a 130-93 victory inside Rocket Arena in Cleveland. As Karl Anthony Towns, he finished with a team-high 19 points in the contest as 5 other Knicks players once again finished the game in double figures. The Knicks will have a bit of a wait for Game 1 of the Finals as tonight we get geared up for Game 5 of the Western Conference Finals as the series between the Spurs and the Thunder is tied at 2-2. The Thunder are 5.5-point favorites coming into the contest as we are set for a 5:30 tip-off. Over to the WNBA as your Portland Fire took down the New York Liberty 81-74 on the road in New York. Carla Leet led the way for the Fire as she finished with 18 points and 2 assists. The Fire will be back in action tomorrow for a 7 p.m. tip-off as they take on the 1-win Connecticut Sun inside the Moda Center. Your Portland Timbers fell 3-1 to the San Jose Earthquakes over the weekend, and if you missed it yesterday, the Portland Timbers and head coach Phil Neville have mutually agreed to part ways. Neville compiled a 27-31-24 record in his 2.5 seasons with the Timbers, and the Timbers will now start their search for a new head coach during this World Cup break. And for more sports scores and stories in 30 minutes, I'm Lower Case from the George McCoy at Warren Allen Sports Desk. Hurt, missing work, insurance companies acting like jerks. Don't call your mom, call George McCoy at warrenallen.com.
The home of dirt and sports.
Web Gems coming up here in a moment, 503-864-6326 or over on the YouTube chat. I want to kind of read some thoughts as Portland is going through 2 coaching hires right now for the Portland Timbers and the Portland Trailblazers. So it's a little mix on both, so I'll try to keep it together. Here on the text line about the Timbers, couple from the Timbers. This team is built to be good at nothing specifically, and they severely lack in the outside back roles. For me, another thought, maybe fire Ned. He is not bringing the correct talent. Defenders are too slow. Strikers can't score. Ned's on the hot seat, has to get this hire right. For what it's worth, I don't think he had full control over the Phil hire, and he's done a good job of bringing talented players to the club. Massive summer for him, and don't forget the transfer window will open up about a week before the season comes back after the World Cup, and people love to get poached after the World Cup.
Strikers can't score and defenders can't defend.
That's
what would you say you do
That's
here?
a tough place to be, and I don't know enough about whether Ned or not had a say in Phil being hired, so I won't really comment on that. And then some Blazers stuff as well. Where did I see this? I thought this was good, and now I can't. A lot of people would love to have Terry Stotts back. I don't see that happening, even if. And it's probably more of a Dundon thing than anything, because as much as I think Stotts with this roster would be pretty cool, I don't think Dad could ever get away from the fact that he used to be the coach here. Even if he was the right coach. You feel what I mean? In kind of the whole, we're not here about legacy and memories, and he wouldn't have brought Dame back, that kind of narrative that we saw for a while. I think he'd be stuck in the Terry Stotts used to be the coach, and he didn't do anything then. Why would he do something now?
Danny, I think you said it pretty perfectly on Friday while Patrick was out. The issue with Terry wasn't necessarily the culture, this, that, and the other. It was the rotations.
It was, I mean, more than that, it was the roster.
It's an old Shea thing, in my opinion.
It just didn't make sense.
Yeah.
So if it does make sense,
Terry leaned into what he had. People are like, they need to be better defensively. I'm like, cool, he's got Dame and CJ in the backcourt. Have fun.
No defense whatsoever. Undersized guards, man.
But he had to lean
we
in.
lived in that world for so long.
But he had to lean into them offensively because you couldn't get a ton out of creation out of Mo or Al Farouk. Again, totally fine players. Nurk before he broke his leg was playing at he was averaging, I think, 23, 12, and 4.
again, it was 25, 10, and 5.
Nurk was balling out of his mind when he broke his leg against the Nets. And that was the end of that. That was it, man. And they still had a miraculous run to the Western Conference Finals with Enes Kanter. Like,
I love Enes Kanter.
I mean, he was playing with a separated shoulder and through Ramadan.
Freedom.
Yeah,
his freedom,
And his freedom now. But yeah, I mean, like, when Terry had Dame, Wes, Nick, LaMarcus, and Robin, they were a top 5 defense multiple times.
Yeah.
Shocking. I know. Weird. When you have players that make sense, all of a sudden you get. This is why I always belabor the coaching during an 82-game season. It's like, it's about players.
Dare I say, I think if I had to power rank the two of what's more important for locally, obviously NBA is bigger than the MLS, so take this with a grain of salt. I actually think the Timbers have to nail this head coaching gig better than the Blazers do, because I think the Blazers have the talent, and I think I'm with you, Danny. I do think they will make a sizable move this offseason, so the talent will be there.
It'll be better.
It'll be better, and even if you don't get necessarily the best coach, the players themselves will still get you a decent ways, to where the Timbers right now,
They got to make sense of it.
yeah, seem very discombobulated. And they're going to have to really nail this hire, I think.
Coaching impacts in soccer are
huge,
far bigger than they are in basketball because, again, sets are such a really important part about soccer. Again, it's just the formations, how you create set pieces, this, that, and how you move the ball, where you move the ball. That's all very important.
Now, I do agree with you, Danny, that coaching is a little sometimes overrated in the NBA.
Especially in the regular season.
But in the playoffs, dude, go talk to me about Mitch and Mark D right now and what the hell they're doing. They are busting their asses over there.
You can see I talked about specifically the adjustment they did with Wemby, getting him in the middle of the floor, getting him facing the basket. Like, those things matter.
Look at the indictment that we've had on Kenny Atkinson this entire
And I think Kenny's a great X's and O's coach, but he also we're
going to have fun with Kenny tomorrow.
The Kenny Atkinson of it all, and this has been true of him at every stop, is that he has his favorites. And look, that's true of every coach.
Of course.
Steve Kerr, Draymond feels slighted by Steve Kerr. It's like, I could have been better offensively. It's like, yeah, Dre, but doing that wouldn't have been good for everybody else. So sometimes as a coach, you got to kind of step on somebody else's ego, step on somebody else's stats, because you've got Steph, you've got Clay, you've got KD. Shut up and don't dribble, Dre. Like, that's what it was.
He could have played David Lee a whole lot more minutes if
that
were the case, Dre.
And I think you can get away with that more in the NBA than you can in any level of soccer.
Especially if you're winning. If you're winning, that's the deal. Like, if you've got a number 10 in soccer who feels like he's not getting, he's not on the ball enough and things aren't running through him enough, well, look down the list of guys who have pouted their way out of teams.
Yeah, and say the Blazers went with the cat in Minnesota. If you do get a Jaylen Brown or a Giannis Antetokounmpo and you still have Drew, like if Drew's not a part of that deal and you still have Drew here and you have Damian Lillard here and that fill-in-the-blank potential superstar, that's a lot of IQ on the floor that in games of runs, they are going to be able to adjust on the fly to where, I don't know, and maybe it's my bias. In soccer, man, when you see it and they don't got it, especially as Casey mentioned in that midfield creation, you've mentioned it as well, that's a tough place to be. That's really, really hard.
It's MLS is weird because the talent disparity is still so wide.
I mean, Mascherano got fired in Miami. And look, Messi does Messi things and Suarez does Suarez things, but dude, they won a game this weekend 6-4 against Philadelphia, who's near the bottom. That you're missing half your team right there.
Has Miami
Coaching
won
matters.
at home yet?
Yeah, they beat the Timbers 2-0.
Right.
Oh, right.
Nice job, Casey. Thanks, buddy.
Just kind of dig that one in for a little bit.
It'll be interesting to see. It's a weird. I don't know if there's ever been a time in which the Blazers and the Timbers needed a new head coach.
Yeah, Gio obviously was very successful.
I love Gio. I thought Gio was fun
But it also ran its course.
for sure.
In that,
Gio's got a little Jason Kidd in him after a while, a little Harbaugh in him.
look, I'll just be keeping a buck, That's damn near every coach in the league.
Yeah.
Think about your bosses, even the bosses that you really like. At some point in time, you're like, all right, this has kind of run its course.
I remember all the rumors out there about Golden State, not really jacked about Steve Kerr, always talking about political issues at the microphone, I don't think they necessarily disagreed or agreed with him, but they were just afraid of, ostracizing or alienating a certain side of the fan base. I think Steve Kerr's a good guy.
What city do they play in?
They play in San Francisco.
Where do they fall politically?
Pretty damn woke.
So,
Yeah. I happen to agree with a lot of things that Steve Kerr says, but I can understand management just being like, hey, man, can we just talk about basketball
Can you
here?
please shut up and dribble?
Yeah, it's like Adam Silver. LeBron, I swear to God, if you say the name Hong Kong,
Yeah.
I will kick you out of this league.
Keep Taiwan out of your mouth. It's I get it. People are like, well, they should be able to say what you want. Brother, I will be a champion and proponent of that. You can say whatever you want. You are not immune to the consequences of your actions.
That's the truth. When we come back, Web Gems, everybody's favorite. Really? You're not even going to call her by her name? She's like the third most famous person in the world. Web Gems, 105.1 The Fan. All right, Web Gems, everybody's favorite. We do it every single day at 11:45. Coming up in the Big Nooner, it is a free consultation Tuesday, so get those in. I've already got a couple in already, 12:15, 503-864-6326, or over on the YouTube chat. I also need some help from you all to catch me up on what's going on since I've been out of civilization for the last 5 days or so. Sports or the real world, you can tell me what's up. We'll get to that in the Big Nooner as well. But Web Gems today is brought to you by the NBA, in my opinion, choosing not to lean into something as they would not say her name. This is Richard Jefferson talking about Travis Kelce's girlfriend.
Look here, Travis Kelce and his fiance here at the game.
Oh, Travis Kelce. That's good to have him here. An Ohio native, a Cleveland native.
Shaker
good to have
Heights,
him in
right?
Shaker Heights. He's an Ohio boy.
Needless to say, the ovation was pretty big when they entered the arena.
Yeah, as Travis and his girlfriend are in the building, that's always great to see.
I think the wedding plans are done. They're in good shape right now.
I got the invitation.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, but
am I your and one?
It's called a +1 and no.
I'm in basketball mode.
Absolutely not.
And Brunson knocks down the first.
They've decided they aren't going to name Travis Kelce's fiance.
Oh, there's a little bit of memeing there because what came out of this when old Taylor Swift came out in the NFL, the Swifties would refer to Travis Kelce as Taylor Swift's boyfriend.
Well, she is more famous than Travis.
I know, but she's not more famous in that arena in the stadium. You know what I mean?
I'm sorry, what's more watched? The Super Bowl, which he has appeared in more of, or a single Taylor Swift concert?
Oh, I think there are more T-Swizzle fans out there than Travis Kelce fans.
Not at Arrowhead on Sunday.
No, but
that's the point. Is like when she shows up there, she's coming into his world.
Fair.
That's what that is. And I'm not saying that Travis Kelce's anywhere near as famous as Taylor Swift, but on Sunday in Arrowhead or any other NFL stadium, he's the guy. And so that's where the meme kind of came from. And it was one of those things that came around to, it went super viral, a bunch of different dudes doing it. Taylor Swift, picture a video of like 3 people in a car, 2 dudes and a woman, and a Taylor Swift song comes on and like, oh, isn't that Travis Kelce's girlfriend? And you could just see her like, what do you mean? What do you mean? Who's Travis Kelce? Like, what you could see her getting visibly upset by it because
very upset
because she's a huge Swiftie, and they just like piled on and piled on and piled on and piled on. So it just kind of caught fire from there.
Look, Bream and Jefferson can have fun with this.
That's
I just know that the NFL, they picked it up and ran with it, and it was awesome for their ratings.
Well, also the NBA, what do they ever get right?
That is also true.
This is round 2 of the Klay Thompson, Meg the Stallion. This is just a little bit of some carryover that I feel that we're seeing now.
That Megan Thee Stallion one is way worse. That is something I got nothing to be a part of.
Nope.
I want nothing to do with that.
Not touching that.
I just thought the NBA should have leaned into it. As Bleak says on the YouTube, the NFL must have exclusive name dropping rights to Mrs. Swift.
I mean, it's going to be Travis Kelce Swift, right?
His last game, he should have a jersey
Hyphenated.
that says Kelce-Swift or Swift Kelce. Do you do her name first, and do you do your maiden name first and then your new name last, right? So in theory, Travis Kelce's maiden name would be Kelce, so he would be Kelce Swift. Like she would be Swift Kelce. You follow?
Sure.
I would be Harris Marang, you would be Marang Harris.
Sure. But his maiden name just sounds...
Well, yeah, I mean, that's not how that traditionally works.
Yeah.
Your surname.
There you
How about
go.
that? Better?
That's better.
Your surname would be first.
I don't have a maiden name.
You can if you want.
No.
I think you could call Marang your maiden name.
No. I will not.
Well, I didn't say you have to want to. I'm just saying
it's
you
already,
probably...
It's already a pie. I don't need to add insult to injury.
Again, it's not your maiden name, it's your maid name.
No, it's not that either.
Your maid name?
Made.
Yes, your maid name.
Yeah. I think that's more of a New Jersey thing. Mob.
I don't follow.
Maid man.
Oh, okay, now I follow.
Pinstripes.
It's strange because they have no problem saying there's Timothy Chalamet and Kylie Jenner. You know, they're not saying...
Well, it's because those are basketball fans.
Kylie's a basketball fan.
Well, she's at Knicks games a lot.
Yeah, because her boyfriend is there.
Who's
and she sits courtside.
Her boyfriend
so she's on
used to
TV.
be Devin Booker, and we didn't see a whole lot of Kendall at those.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Well,
It's not New York.
it's not New York. I mean,
Also-
Kylie is there because it's New York City.
Well, it's also Shamalama Ding Dong is a massive Knicks fan. Have you seen the videos of him as a kid outside
know.
OSG? Like
He's hugging Jalen Brunson after the
yeah,
game.
he is a diehard Knicks fan. A little adjacent to this, there are 2 tickets currently up for sale, front row for the Knicks. They are $1 million. $1 million.
Yeah, that'll be
Next to Steph Marbury.
You know what's funny? You know who's a bigger star? Or I guess in the NBA world, Chalamet's a bigger star than Kylie Jenner.
Yes.
She out earns him by
That
hundreds of millions of dollars.
That might be a real conversation
No.
because I guarantee you a lot more players in the NBA
Oh, yeah.
know of the Jenners
Oh,
than
for
they
sure.
do of the
If you're
Shalimars.
talking-
Well,
Yeah,
I mean,
it's a different world.
every Jenner has jersey chased an NBA player that
Yes.
we can find. Every Kardashian and Jenner.
Started with Chris Humphries.
Yeah. It's been everywhere.
But no, I don't know why I dove into this. 'Cause, Jenner's, she's got a makeup line.
Yeah.
It's worth like over $1 billion.
Oh, Kylie is.
I was like, I'm sorry, what?
Kylie is honestly like famous level and rich level of Taylor Swift levels.
Yes, no, she's worth. I think she's one of the 10 richest women on the planet.
But that's to get back
Starts
to the,
with a B.
But
Yeah.
to get back to this point, though, why we're leaning into Kylie Jenner and not Taylor Swift is beyond me. You got to lean into both of them.
Well-
Get eyeballs on your game. Because let me tell you what, that game 4 that Travis Kelce and his girlfriend were at was unwatchable
Oh, for sure.
from a basketball perspective.
It's Chet Holmgren versus Luke Cornett.
But not just that. What is Taylor Swift?
A multi-generational rock star with billions of dollars.
And she's hot.
Very
That's what I'm saying.
Very
This is Chet
quiet.
Holmgren versus Luke Cornett.
Now, Kylie's not of the darkest complexion, but
Kylie's a babe, though. Kylie's definitely more of a babe than Taylor.
well, yeah.
Yeah,
I
Taylor's
don't
pretty
think
like,
girl next door.
yeah,
Yeah.
pretty average white lady from the South.
Stack 'em up.
Kylie's got that
From
LA money.
from Pennsylvania.
Oh, from Pennsylvania.
But she has the look of a Nashville girl next door, right?
Literally called Wyoming.
There you go. But like, I think you can draw pretty straight lines as to why one is being favored over the other.
Yeah. I mean, the Jenners and the Kardashians are definitely more NBA
Which
friendly.
world do they work in? The NBA or the NFL?
Yeah, they work in the NBA.
Okay.
How many other NFL wives do we really know and celebrate?
Celebrate? None.
Well, I mean, we know Brittany Mahomes.
She celebrated?
No. Stafford's wife can be a little cringy.
Not celebrated.
Not celebrated.
Giselle wasn't.
I would say that.
Well, Giselle might have been the most liked.
I would
Sure.
say George Kittle's wife is pretty celebrated.
Make some dope jackets.
Dude,
That's Kyle Jisik's wife.
Oh, that's right. It's Logistics wife. Yeah.
have you seen Jackson Dart's girlfriend?
Speaking of Jackson Dart,
Like made in a factory.
Oh, then you've got, Herbert with,
yeah.
what's her name? God,
Madison-
dang it.
Madison Beer.
Yeah.
Josh Allen's wife.
Oh,
Haley
Steinfeld.
She's probably the most.
Yeah. Level-headed.
Yeah, like-
I would say Madison Beer, too. Are we anti-Madison Beer?
not at all.
No, but I think Steinfeld's a Disney girl. So,
Yeah.
Is
Disney
she?
kids are always fine.
yeah.
She's a Disney kid?
Yeah.
I had no clue.
Yeah.
Disney kids we always give a pass to.
Yeah.
Like I love Ariana. I love Miley. Brittany, Christina. Disney kids always give a pass.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. She grew up in that. But yeah, she's also Marvel too, dude. Come on now.
I know that.
Yeah.
Don't get me started on that.
Yeah, the Marvel. Marvel will get you every time.
Don't get me started on her and Brie Larson.
Let's get to the big nooner. Let me know the things that I have missed over the weekend, whether they are political, world events, sports, something. Let me know. 503-864-6326 plus free consultation. 105.1 The Fan and the Fan Sports Network.
From the George McCoy at Warren Allen Sports Desk, a Sports Center update on the Fan Sports Network, 105.1 FM and 1080 AM.
This sports update is brought to you by Stone Creek Golf Club, Oregon's best public course under $100. StoneCreekGolfClub.net. First on the Fan, some NBA updates for you as the New York Knicks are advancing to the NBA Finals for the first time in 27 years. The Knicks took home their 4-0 sweep of the Cleveland Cavaliers, wrapping up the series last night with a 130-93 victory inside Rocket Arena in Cleveland. Karl Anthony Towns, he led the team with a team-high 19 points in the contest as 5 other Knicks players once again finished in double figures. The Knicks will have a bit of a wait for Game 1 of the Finals as tonight we get geared up for Game 5 of the East-Western Conference Finals as the series between the Spurs and the Thunder is tied at 2-2. The Thunder are 5.5-point favorites coming into the contest as we are set for a 5:30 tip-off. Over to the WNBA as your Portland Fire took down the New York Liberty 81-74 on the road in New York last night. Carla Leet led the way for the Fire as she finished with 18 points and 2 assists. The Fire will be back in action tomorrow for a 7 p.m. tip-off as they will take on the one-win Connecticut Sun inside the Moda Center. Your Portland Timbers fell 3-1 to the San Jose Earthquake over the weekend, and if you missed it yesterday, the Portland Timbers and head coach Phil Neville have mutually agreed to part ways. Neville compiled a 27-31-24 record in his 2.5 seasons with the Timbers, and the Timbers will now start their search for a new head coach during this World Cup break. And for more sports scores and stories in 30 minutes, I'm Lowercase from the George McCoy at Warren Allen Sports Desk. Hurt, missing work, insurance companies acting like jerks. Don't call your mom, call George McCoy at warrenallen.com.
The home of the Fan Happy Hour.
Two down, one to go here. The firm of Harris and Marang. We do this bad boy every single Monday through Friday, unless it's a holiday like yesterday from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. Thank you for being a part of our day. We are stoked to be a part of your day. After us, we'll send it over to Duck Insider from 1 to 2, and then it's the Fan Happy Hour with Joseph Fisher III from 2 to 3. And then it's prime time from 3 to 7. After that, you'll get myself and Jake Zivin on Timbers Fan. From 7 to 8, we will sit down with Portland Timbers general manager Ned Grabavoy and kind of discuss where the Timbers are at the break and the recent mutually parting ways with Phil Neville. But I asked for some help here as I've been gone for about 4 or 5 days, and I've been able to catch a little bit of basketball and hockey on the radio, but I don't really know what's going on. So I'm asking you guys to help me out. 503-864-6326 or over on the YouTube chat as well. I have just discovered that the Oregon Ducks are the 11th national seed in the college baseball playoff, hosting in Eugene at PK Field. And the other teams in their group are Yale, Oregon State, and Wazoo. Wazoo made the college baseball playoff?
Hello.
What's up, guys? Let's go. I'm really excited about this.
Typical powerhouse baseball team, Wazoo.
Hey, man, Bobo Field, dude. Let's go.
This is a fun-sounding field.
I do think that is really, really cool that you've got 3 teams that 5 years ago were all in the same conference. Think about it. If you're a Wazoo baseball fan, going to Eugene from Pullman ain't that big of a deal. Think about Yale. Yale's in what, New York? Is Yale in Massachusetts?
Where?
I think Yale's in Massachusetts.
Yes.
So,
I always get my
New
Ivies.
Haven, Connecticut.
I always get my Ivies mixed up.
I actually saw a map of the Ivies and realized, oh, now I know. Cornell's the only one in New York. They're all just kind of, it's weird. It's like a tornado alley sort of thing. I mean, if you're Yale, going from Connecticut to Eugene is not an easy ride. The question will be, will there be more Beaver fans at Oregon games than Oregon fans?
I think there's a chance of that. But also, Oregon baseball's done incredibly good over the last, 4 years, 5 years now?
They've put money into it. They care.
I mean, they went from not having a team to having a damn good team real quick. And to be honest, if the old Pac-10, Pac-12 still existed, Wazoo, Oregon, Oregon State, USC, UCLA, good luck finding a better group than that, because UCLA, Oregon, and USC all have, I think those are the top 3 odds in the Big Ten to win the national title.
I believe so, yeah.
So it's like, that ain't too shabby.
And Oregon State has, I believe, plus 50 odds better than Oregon.
I had forgotten that Oregon State had independent scheduling. They should rock that for life.
Well, I mean, they're basically saying, bring it on.
Yeah, they should stay independent.
They're
the Notre Dame of baseball.
They are good enough, and they've been successful for 20 years. Like, not just like good, great.
There were freshmen when I was a senior in high school. Mm-hmm. There were freshmen that won natties at Oregon State.
Yes.
When I was in high school.
They've gone through
freshmen in high school that eventually went on to Oregon State and won natties.
Like, they are a preeminent powerhouse. They are a blue blood of baseball.
They should Notre Dame it, dude. Just stay independent.
As long as they,
who cares? It's baseball.
As long as they're making sure they're taking on
go get LSU on your schedule.
LSUs,
Wake Forest,
the Tennessees, the Vandies, the Texases, the USCs, the Floridas, the UCLAs, and hell, Oregon, because they're right there. As long as they're making sure that they're scooping those teams up.
As long as you're not ducking.
Yeah, and that's
as long as you're not ducking.
That's the thing, man. Whether it's Casey or God dang, Canham,
Mitch Canham.
God, I could not think of his name. As long as they've been running this with 2 guys who are just complete monsters, it hasn't missed a beat. Mm-hmm. And they've had your guy now, Bazzana was the number 1 pick. Like, they've had dudes come through there. You can go back to Adley, like you can go to pitching staff, you can go to infielders. Hello, Stephen Kwan.
Kwan.
You can go all the way back to Jacoby.
Yeah, I mean,
Jacoby, that's right.
There's no shortage of guys that have come through that program that have been studs in Major League Baseball. Studs.
That being said, I don't know if I'll watch. They still play with metal bats in college baseball?
Hell yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm out.
I love it.
I'm out.
There's something.
That's not true. I'll watch Wazoo. I'll watch my squad.
There's something about the ping that just, I love the sound of it.
And
I get
so
it.
far the opposite.
It's just 20 years ago at Delta Park playing softball, just a bunch of roided out dudes just hitting dingers. Scores are 47-52, and all you're hearing all night long is boom, boom.
See, I hate that.
Boom. And you're using bats that are so illegal, it's not even funny. Softballs are going 450 feet, and you're just like, how?
Again, when I'm watching a 17, 18, 19-year-old kid do stuff that 30-year-old men are doing with metal bats and a whole lot of medical influence behind them, it's impressive.
Mm-hmm.
It's impressive. I love college baseball.
It's fun, man.
Bleak telling me all I really need to know is that the Danhausen curse is real and highly effective. Does anybody know what that is?
Cleveland.
What is Danhausen?
Oh God, when was that?
He's a WWE wrestler.
He's a wrestler. Okay. I'm in.
When was
following? Give me more.
I can't remember where that was.
So the Knicks completed an improbable comeback against the Cavaliers. Hold on. That would be the new Danhausen, who cursed the Cavaliers on NBA Today. He also appeared on First Take and then showed up at Madison Square Garden to make sure something horrible happened to his latest enemies, the Cavaliers. I think it's the newest Lil B curse.
Who's Lil B?
Well,
boy, I'm an old man right now, aren't I?
Well, Lil B, the base god, he put a curse on James Harden. Was it a few years ago?
God, that was, I feel like it was like 2016.
That was back when.
Well, that's still alive.
That was Houston Rockets, James Harden. He said the Houston Rockets with James Harden will never make an NBA final. He was correct. He then lifted that curse.
2015.
I believe that this is just a new version with a new icon.
I am told he's a theater kid demon vaudeville wrestling gimmick.
Mm-hmm. Looks like a vampire.
I'm good on that.
He looks like he could be a member of The Cure.
Yeah, that's pretty spot on.
How dare you besmirch The Cure like that? Robert Smith is a god. The Astros throw a combined no-hitter yesterday.
Do combined no hitters get you going?
They still suck.
As my good friend Mike Lynch used to go,
No, don't get me wrong. Combined no-nos are like they're fine, but give me the no-no. Write it out.
oh yeah. I listened to a 13-inning baseball game yesterday on the radio.
All 13 innings.
It was 4.5 hours. Yeah, dude, I drove 8.5 hours yesterday. 4.5 of it was Rays at Orioles. And it was 1-0 for a while.
Oh.
And then it was 1-1. And then in the 7th, it was 2-1.
Oh, God.
And then in the 9th, it was 2-2. Final score was, I believe, 9-7. Extra innings, they kept scoring.
Here,
Colton Cowser walked off. And then my tribe came on, and I listened to the Guardians game, and Tanner Bybee gave up 5 home runs in 3 innings to the Nationals.
you know you can download podcasts, right?
I was actually thinking exactly this conversation while I was listening to baseball. And I said to myself, people download podcasts, and I just listen to play-by-play. I was in my zone.
If it's a drive that long or a flight that long, like when we went to Army Navy, I had a bunch of stuff pre-downloaded on my phone, podcasts and videos.
And I watched The Godfather.
And I can't remember what I ended up watching. God, who was the guy from Better Call Saul? It was Mr.
Bob
Nobody.
Odenkirk?
Yeah, it was Odenkirk. It was Mr. Nobody too. I was like, you know what? I like Odenkirk. I liked Mr. Nobody. Let me go ahead and watch this. And I was like, it's fine.
Let me tell you what, I know a lot about Kyle Bradish and Shane McClanahan right now.
Oh, that's the great thing about baseball play-by-play. You get to know guys real well. Because them notes, they're a mile long for each player.
I listened to a 4.5-hour, 13-inning baseball game. I can now tell you the starting lineups of the Baltimore Orioles and the Tampa Bay Rays and a majority of their bullpens. That's gross.
Yeah, that's
gross.
That's a problem. That's a problem.
Sometimes it just turns you on and you can't turn it off.
We had to do. I had to drive to Seattle back and forth quick after the March Madness, and I had a bunch of podcasts ready to go. I've got 10 hours of free audiobooks on Spotify with the membership. And I realized I burned through that because I was driving from A back to Wilsonville to the TV studio to A, then back to the TV studio, then from the TV studio to Seattle, and back from Seattle back home. And in 2 days, I burned through 10 hours of audiobooks. And they're like, you have reached your maximum capacity to get more. And I was like, oh, crap. What do I do now?
I don't do audiobooks. I just read while I drive.
I mean, I would not do that. That's a definite you could not.
I can't do that. I can't read. Come on.
The number of times recently, the little tangent here, when I realize somebody in front of me is driving like a complete douche nozzle, I get past them, face down in their phone.
Face down in their phone.
It's like 9 out of 10 times now.
That's my rush hour. Every time it's like, dude, are you paying attention? Oh, no, you're not.
No, you're on your phone. Yeah. I'm a big proponent of getting right alongside them and hammering the horn and watching them go, huh!
Just jump scared.
Yeah.
503-864-6326. It's a free consultation Tuesday. We'll take a break, and we'll come back from there. Anything you need help with, your life, your love life, work life, sports life, anything like that, get those in. We've already got some in, so get them in quick. We're filling up. 105.1 The Fan. Free consultation. We do it every single Tuesday at 12:15. 503-864-6326. Anything you need help with. And I'm confused by this. Hey, was this guy a jerk or am I the jerk? Should I be mad about being a Cavs fan? Hell yeah, you should be mad about being a Cavs fan. I'm not mad about being a Guardians fan, I'll tell you that. For the first time in a long time, Danny.
Check in with me in September.
For the first time in a long time, I went on vacation on Memorial Day weekend, and I came back, and my baseball team and my fantasy baseball team didn't S the bed. Thank you.
It's a simple thing.
Thank you. Thank you, thank you. Thank you very much.
We do here all day. We do a little bit of breaking news. We'll get to it tomorrow. Kenny Atkinson is returning as the Cavs head coach.
Ooh.
He has a 71% winning percentage over the last 3 years.
Is that good?
Or last 2 years.
Is that good?
Yeah, it's pretty good.
I think it's pretty good, too.
Pretty good.
He's coming back, huh? Yeah, let's have a conversation about old Kenny Atkinson tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if you look at, X score, we won 2 of those games. It's not how that worked, buddy.
Yep.
Let's see. Let's start somewhere here. Let's start something. You want to talk about, let's see. You want to talk about weed?
No.
Parking at grocery stores?
Ooh.
Free consultation. I was parking at Fred Meyer yesterday, and as I pulled into my spot, the guy in the spot directly in front of me got out of his car and told me that I bumped him. We proceeded to look at both cars. Absolutely no evidence of damage, and he realized he had pulled forward into my spot by at least a foot, so he didn't press the issue any further. My question is, if you go to park in a spot and accidentally tap the front bumper of someone who has pulled too far forward from the other spot, who is at fault?
Thou who is that pulled forward.
Yeah.
If you've crossed the line, you've crossed the line.
I think so, man. I think so. Also here, I'll ask a bonus question from my point of view. Do you say anything? Like, hey, man, sorry I bumped you, but you're over the line.
I mean, if the person's standing there.
I tend to be somebody with accountability, big
for
time.
Sure.
If I lightly tap you, I'll get out and look. If there's nothing, I'm walking away.
No. If there's nothing there, there's nothing there.
Yeah, I'm not going to say anything.
I mean, when I was leaving Moda, I think I talked about this on air, I watched a guy back into a guy's truck and drive away. I showed you, I snapped a photo, and it looked like it was AI. Like the license plate was like blurred out, like the CIA had like sent a little beam to block out the license plate. But I got to making the model of the guy, and I went over and left a note on the guy's car like, hey, here's my phone number, man. I saw the guy back directly into you. Here's just like, I can make out some of the plate in the photo, but the rest of it's kind of blurred out. I'm like, here's my number. Text me if you want the photos. Guy ended up texting me. I sent them to him, and I was like, man, sorry, dude. Because, dude, it was straight up hit and run. And it wasn't like he lightly tapped him. He slammed into the dude.
That's different.
Dude saw me, and I looked at him. I tried to get my phone out as fast as I could, like snap as many photos and videos as I could, but I just couldn't do it fast enough. It was like, damn. But like, he slammed into dude.
I also
that's dirtbag behavior.
I agree. This might be where Patrick gets a little dirtbag life. I don't pull my phone out. I'm not going to tell somebody what went down. I'm just going to walk away.
Why?
Because I don't want to get involved.
If I'm the only witness, I feel obligated to.
If somebody came up to me and said, hey, did you see something? I would probably say yes. But that might be it.
But if that's your car, you don't want anybody to come forward?
I don't really know what's going to happen.
So if it's your car that gets slammed into and a dude who sees it can help you out instead of you walking out and doing the surrender cobra, your Bronco gets smashed out here and the cameras didn't pick it up, but I happen to see it, you'd be like, suck to suck?
Yeah, I guess. I just don't want to get involved.
Why?
I don't know. I've now learned that I don't like talking to strangers.
How old are you?
40.
Okay.
I'm going to be 41 in like a week.
Yeah, figure that out, dog.
What's today? Tuesday? In exactly a week.
There you go.
Yeah, I don't know.
Send the information. Be done with it.
I suppose.
That's what I did. I never heard back from the guy. I was like, hey, man, sorry that happened to you. That was the last thing I heard.
You can't say sorry, though. Well, if you're the person that hits him.
Well,
or gets hit.
Yeah, no.
You can't say sorry because then you're admitting fault.
No. I just told dude, sorry that happened to you, man.
I had a lot of long conversations with myself about driving and accidents and crashes and speeding and stuff like that while you drive across 2 states.
Mm-hmm. What conclusions did you come to?
Don't say sorry. And I'd be like, dang it, I'm so sorry this happened. And you're like, no, you can't do that. You can't say sorry.
Then you can say sorry that happened.
If that person hits you and it's their fault and you're like, I'm so sorry, you'll get busted.
By who?
The insurance companies. You're admitting fault by saying you're sorry. If you didn't do anything wrong, then why are you sorry?
You can still say, I'm sorry that happened.
Gaslighting.
Sorry that we're all in this circumstance
Yeah.
together.
I'm sorry that
this
you
sucks.
feel that way.
Yeah.
Isn't that the classic gaslighting line?
Yeah.
I'm sorry you feel that way.
It's like, sucks to suck. No, man, I'm the complete opposite. I not that I want to get involved, but I'm always trying to put myself in that position of like, if that happened to me, would I want somebody to step forward or do something?
Oh, I think you like confrontation.
I mean, I do.
Yeah, you do.
I do. Just
You love to tell me stories about how you almost got in a fight somewhere in a public place.
I mean,
that's confrontation.
Well, I mean, guy on the scooter here. What was that last year? Almost beat his ass.
There's a guy in a scooter? I don't need to know this.
A guy came over into the parking lot and said that I almost hit him, and the dude was literally on the sidewalk, like coming across, like I was nowhere near him, followed me into this parking lot here and started to like bark at me and came up to my window. I opened the door enough to where he started to back up. I looked at him. I'm like, if you don't back up, I'm going to back you up.
You want some of this?
And then he started to say that I work at the Wolf, and that makes sense because I hate the gays.
Nah, we ain't taking that.
And I was just like, what? Because I was parked next to the old 995 truck. And he's like, yeah, that makes sense. You hate the gays. I was
Getting higgy with it.
what? Like, that's Portland in a nutshell. Got complete D-bag on a scooter wanting to fight because he ran across the street, not at a crosswalk, across traffic, didn't almost get hit, then said he almost got hit, and then followed said person into parking lot. And when he realized that the F around find out scale was not tilted in his favor, called me a homophobe because I was parked next to a truck that said 995 The Wolf. Figure out Portland.
Free consultation. I took a coworker to a great food cart pod the other day. Told them to get whatever they want. My treat. They proceeded to order nothing but plain chips and melted cheese from a Mexican food cart. They admit they're a picky eater and that it's a little weird, but am I wrong to secretly question their humanity?
No.
Yes.
No.
Chips and cheese?
That's wild.
That's not 5-year-old food. That's like 3-year-old food.
You definitely question their humanity.
Yeah.
Like what are we doing here?
And we answered the same, but I answered incorrectly.
There you go.
But am I wrong? I was like, no, you're not wrong.
We're doing the wedding planning right now, and we're debating food, and food trucks have come up.
Food trucks, dude. I did it in my wedding.
It all depends on the venue. We've got a couple venues that we're looking at, and it's like, okay, how is this going to work? So some venues require their on-site catering. Some have pre-approved vendors. Some have you're allowed outside, but you have to have them cleared. It's like all these different things that go along with it, and you're like, yeah.
I had 3 food carts at my wedding: a taco joint, a pizza spot, and Southern.
I've seen the prices for them. They're actually not bad.
No, they weren't bad at all.
I was like, and we're not going to have a huge wedding, so I was like, 60-ish people. If you did 3 food trucks, basically a food truck per 20 people, that's pretty damn good, right?
I would think so.
Right? Lines shouldn't be too egregious.
I would think so.
Have some pre-made, menu options kind of a deal.
That's why I did 3 of them, so the lines weren't too long.
Because that's the hang-up, the lines. And you have to have, the menu has to be made smaller. Like, these are your choices. So.
And I got my street tacos. That's all I wanted.
Look, Tiff is, she's not anti-Mexican food, but it's down the pecking order where it's very high on mine. And we had Mexican food as a couple for the first time, at a restaurant this weekend. And I was a happy man. I was a happy man. I got to have my Mexican food. So maybe I'll push for the street tacos at the wedding.
I've never been one to approach a media personality, but now that I know Patrick hates talking to strangers, I have the urge now to spark up an awkward conversation the next time I see him. Do it.
Yes.
I'll say hi.
Do it.
I will.
Hands in the pockets, going full Arthur.
Somebody also told me talking to strangers is literally your job.
I mean,
I consider us all friends here, okay?
They're not wrong, though.
They aren't.
They're not wrong.
More free consultation next. We might be able to slide you in 503-864-6326 or over on the YouTubes. But first, there's MC Lowercase with sports.
Now, from the George McCoy at Warren Allen Sports Desk, a Sports Center update on the Fan Sports Network, 105.1 FM and 1080 AM.
First on the Fan, some NBA updates for you as the New York Knicks are advancing to the NBA Finals for the first time in 27 years. The Knicks took home their 4-0 sweep of the Cleveland Cavaliers, wrapping up the series last night with a 130-93 victory inside Rocket Arena in Cleveland. Karl Anthony Towns finished with a team-high 19 points in the contest as 5 other Knicks players once again finished the game in double figures. The Knicks will have a bit of a wait for Game 1 of the Finals, as tonight we get geared up for Game 5 of the Western Conference Finals, as the series between the Spurs and the Thunder is tied at 2-2. The Thunder are 5.5-point favorites coming into the contest, as we are set for a 5:30 tip-off. Over to the WNBA, as your Portland Fire took down the New York Liberty 81-74 on the road in New York. Carla Leet led the way for the Fire as she finished with 18 points and 2 assists. The Fire will be back in action tomorrow for a 7 p.m. tip-off as they take on the one-win Connecticut Sun inside the Moda Center. Your Portland Timbers fell 3-1 to the San Jose Earthquakes over the weekend, and if you missed it yesterday, the Portland Timbers and head coach Phil Neville have mutually agreed to part ways. Neville compiled a 27-31-24 record in his 2.5 seasons with the Timbers, and the Timbers will now start their search for a new head coach during this World Cup break. And for more sports scores and stories in 30 minutes, I'm Lowercase from the George McCoy at Warren Allen Sports Desk. Hurt, missing work? Insurance companies acting like jerks? Don't call your mom. Call George McCoy at WarrenAllen.com.
Your home for the Oregon Ducks.
Now, what did I do wrong?
Part 2, a free consultation here and closing arguments coming up next to send you on your way. Jordan texts in, I don't need any free help or advice today because my Knicks are going to the bleeping finals, bitches. Woo.
I mean, yeah.
Congrats, Knicks fans.
Enjoy it.
Enjoy it. wish my team was going to the finals. My team did go to the finals last year. Am I counting the Pacers as my team?
I mean, yeah, you are.
I still got a lot of Blazer roots in me. It's hard for me not to, like, Blazer it up.
No, but I mean, I get it.
Because I do live here.
Yeah,
and I do want them to do well.
Sure.
I would go to the parade.
Look, I mean, it's not the same as local-wise, but, like, I like the Mariners to be good.
Sure. They're in the same league as my team, and if they're playing my team, I'm rooting for my squad.
Yeah.
But if the Mariners went to the World Series, hell yeah, I'd root for them.
It's, my former locale and the Dodgers, people are like, how can you root for the Dodgers? You're a Cardinals fan. I'm like, because my whole family's Dodgers fans, man.
Yeah, I grew up with that.
And there's not exactly a diehard Birds-Dodgers, rivalry. So it's like, it's fine.
I'm down to get a Pacers-Blazer rivalry together.
I don't want the rivalry. They are Portland East. They even have the former Portland general manager.
That is true.
Pritchard Buchanan have been running that thing pretty damn well for a while now.
I wish we had Rick Carlisle.
I mean, yeah.
Free consultation. I was up in Canada for a youth hockey tournament last weekend. Question is it your responsibility to police the other kids on the team at the restaurant or each individual parent? Broski, I'm so sorry you have to ask this question because clearly you felt the need to step in because the parents were not. I can't handle it, dude. If your
kids don't behave in public, man, it drives me nuts. Have you watched The Crash on Netflix?
No.
The chick that slammed her car into the wall at 100 miles an hour and killed her boyfriend and her friend?
No.
She lived.
Why would I watch that?
It's like number one on Netflix right now.
Oh,
It's the whole case. She got convicted. No, screw it. I'll give it away. It's in the news. She got convicted on all counts.
I wasn't going to watch it.
Yeah, I'm not either.
But her parents are some of the biggest POSs I've ever seen in my entire life.
Wow.
Like there is this piles of evidence that she is a god-awful human all throughout high school. All kinds of issues, disrespect, treating people like crap, bullying people. Teachers couldn't stand her. And like the worst thing she did is she had a mouth on her. And like there's all of this evidence that she never once touched the brakes. She hit the wall at over 100 miles an hour. Had the gas fully down, like
trying to kill them.
Yes, and they're like, well, she has what's called POTS. It's like this blood pressure thing that caused her to black out. And the mom gets up on the stand. It's like, so the prosecutor's like, so she has this disease, and never once did it think maybe she shouldn't drive. Well, it can be a problem. And I'm just like, your daughter's a narcissistic psychopath. What don't you get about this? Like that goes to the furthest extent of like, you want to talk about crappy parenting? These are two of the crappiest parents I've ever seen in my entire life. The number of things that they excuse, that doesn't just say like acting like a piece of crap in a restaurant does that, but like I remember being 5 years old and like being on a booth at like Denny's or something like that and like peering over to the spot over next to me. And my dad said, do that again. And me being the ornery little,
piece
that I am, I did it again. My dad took me outside and beat my ass. And you know what I never did again? That.
That is the truth. Back in my day, you just get hit.
Like legitimate, like people are like, oh, I see somebody spanking their kids in public. It makes me so uncomfortable. And I'm like,
oh, man, you know how many times I got spanked in public?
Bro.
My parents were good parents, too.
Yeah. Like, when you have, like, if you just have a piece for a kid in public, I am 100% judging you. I am 100% judging you.
I used to not really like kids all that much. Dogs are the same. And then I realized it's not that I don't like kids or dogs. I just hate their parents.
It's a people problem.
And I will tell you, in my older days of restaurant work, I would have conversations with parents.
Oh, would you?
And with kids. Yeah, you can do it in a polite way.
Look at you, Mr. I don't like to talk to strangers telling parents to get a hold of their kids.
Well, I literally was paid to do that.
That's fair.
So that's part of it.
Dude, I have to clean that up in about 30 minutes anyways.
Or you're pissing off everybody else and I got to go deal with that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's the route you go.
No.
Hey, this is a family establishment. We're trying to make sure everybody has the chance to have a great experience, and I think your kids are kind of infiltrating in that.
Ever get any pushback?
No.
Really?
No.
The shame was enough?
The shame is enough. And then you go, well, and then if they kind of do push back a little, you're like, I can't have that. You understand how it's more people here than just us?
That's
right
when
here?
you start talking to the parents like they're the kids, where you're like,
yeah,
hey, pal.
Did you ever get any parents that were like, oh, my bad?
Oh, definitely.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah. Usually they're like, uh-oh. Because they don't realize. That's why their kids are out of control, because they're not paying attention.
Because they're not parenting?
Yeah.
If If you can't bring your kid into any establishment and not have you're the center attraction, stay home. Stay home.
My kids are wonderful.
Kids have attitude issues. Then make them your attitude issues and not everybody else's.
Pull out, man. Just pull out.
Best advice
could always be solved.
The best advice I've heard from Casey over the last 2 weeks is just pull out and just be single.
Yeah.
Would save a lot of situations.
Yeah.
I hope your old lady ain't listening, Casey.
Just
only partially.
It's on in the background.
Man, what are we doing? What are we doing?
Lastly, free consultation after being fed up with a new boss who is incompetent at their job. What is the most spectacular way to quit my job? For context, I work in grocery stores for a beverage distributor.
Stone cold your way out of there.
Crack 2 and walk out.
Crack 2, over the head, on the face, stroll your way out that front door.
What if
make sure you never want to work in that industry ever again?
What if you I've got an idea. Let me see here. If you forklift some pallets off the trailer, set them outside, and then drive away. Don't check in. Just drive away. And let the day walkers commence. And because then the store hasn't received them yet. Because you don't want to like unplug all the refrigerators at the store. You don't work for the store. You work for the beverage distributor in the store.
Just be careful about crimes committed.
That's you got to be careful.
Doing that.
But if oh shoot, I totally forgot I never processed those.
That gets pretty diabolical.
I've never had the ability to just like quit a job like that.
I've had contracts as a contractor that I just finished, and they're like, "Hey, we'd like to have you on." I'm like, "I would like to not be." So I will see you later.
Yeah, that's different though. Ones where you're gonna like rage quit.
Yeah, I don't think I've had any of those. Yeah.
When I worked at Red Robin, I had a really awful shift one day, and I walked in and I talked to my boss and I quit. And then I went home and told my partner, and she was like, "No, you didn't. Go back."
Oh. What happened after that?
And I went back and I groveled and I got my job back.
You put the tail between the legs?
Put my tail between the legs.
Ooh, how'd that go?
It was fine because 3 weeks later I got a new job and then I quit again.
Ah.
It was just because I didn't have a job, which is fair.
Yeah.
But that's about as close. But it was, I liked my boss at the time. I was just like, hey, I really like you. I can't do this anymore.
You didn't go full half-baked, bleep you, you're cool?
Nah, I can't live in that world. I got too much respect.
I saw somebody do it once when I was in high school.
Yeah.
It was a single-run taco shop. Dude just literally threw the dish rag on the floor and said, "I'm out. F all of y'all. I'm out." And walked out. And I think it was 16. And I was just like, damn. I didn't know what to do with it. Stunned, shocked, flabbergasted. Left me shorthanded as could be.
I'm trying to think if I've been around any nice rage quits. I've seen kitchen guys just walk.
Yeah, but didn't throw a fit. They just
threw
down the apron and walked out.
Yeah. Hey, boss, can I have a smoke? You're like, yeah, have a smoke. Never comes back.
Oh, they did one of those.
Yeah, like Dad.
Have to go get some milk.
Milk and cigarettes.
That sounds like a disgusting combination. Like a nice, tall glass of cold milk.
So much damage to the stomach.
Yeah. So cold glass of milk and a cigarette. That's
just
so
ripping
gross.
Darts.
That's so gross to
It's
me.
kind of funny when you think about like 1950s Americana. That's like about as American as you can get. Just ripping Marlboros and glass of milk.
At 7 a.m. in the morning before you go to your
and
job.
your newspaper.
Oh, God.
On the way to work.
Yeah. You wonder why indigestion was such a big deal.
Oof.
Oh, God, I hate milk.
I do, too. I don't remember the last time I had real milk on its own.
You'll never catch me drinking milk.
Yeah, me neither.
Not even chocolate milk.
I'm a chocolate milk after a workout guy.
Oh. Like even like milk, like protein, like whey protein, like milk things. I hate those things, man. I just can't.
I can handle the milk. I can handle the milk substitute. I'm okay with that. That's free consultation. We do it every single Tuesday at 12:15. Usually go double. We're here to help you. When we come back, it's closing arguments to send you on your way on the Fan Sports Network.
It's time for Easy Play, brought to you by Home Z, making home improvement easy.
Nice ball by DeCosta, springs forward Anthony. Anthony this time rolls it by Daniel.
and the Timbers have answered back in the 18th minute. DaCosta to Anthony, and it's the second goal of the season for the Brazilian winger.
That is Fletcher Johnson, heard right here on your home of the Timbers. DaCosta with a nice pass to Anthony, who slides it in with that famous right foot of his. However, Timbers fall 3-1 to San Jose as we take a 3-4 week break going into the World Cup. They'll come back to the Seattle Sounders on the road. This Easy Play brought to you by Homesy. Use Homesy's online calculator to estimate your project instantly. Make it easy. Call Homesy. That's Homze. Homesy.com.
We just finished our roof and siding with Homesy.
All right, that's going to do it for us. Closing Arguments brought to you by Less Skin Law. Visit LessSkinLaw.com for more information. Coming up on the program tomorrow, we'll react to OKC San Antonio Game 5, which is tonight. Let's dive into a little bit of that Kenny Atkinson stuff over the weekend and his wild views on how basketball games work. Memorial Day, it signifies a third of the baseball season. We'll check in a little bit of baseball. If you haven't read the Bill Oram article as he sat down with Dad, we'll talk a little Blazers tomorrow as well. Plus, we'll bring to you the interview with Ned Grabavoy that we'll have for you tonight on Timbers Fan as well.
It's crazy for a guy that doesn't care what people think. Tom Dunn sure does be doing a lot of appearances to talk about what people think.
Easy ride, easy ride.
That's for tomorrow's show.
I'm just saying.
That's for tomorrow's.
I'm just saying.
Woosah.
Again, I have nothing. I'm just saying. Just pointing out just Facts.
Real quick, on my way out to Idaho, I was around, let's see, I think I was around Walla Walla at the time, and I was listening to my favorite primetime show. That would be Isaac and Sook. And I was in the club hour, and they gave me an update on the old man feats of strength competition between you and Joe Fisher. You guys are just playing golf?
That's what it evolved into.
That's lame.
It's fine.
That's lame.
Hey,
I'm going to need more.
I'm going to need more, too. Now it's just two guys that are going to go play golf together.
Yeah, and it's going to get paid for. Shut up over there.
I think you guys should do a lot more than that.
Shut up over there.
What? Somebody scared?
Lace the cleats up.
I'm talking about quit poo-pooing this. I'm going to get a free round of golf out of this.
Well, I think you guys can still play golf, and that can be part of it, but I'm going to need a lot more than that.
Well, yeah.
Lace them up, lace them.
Yeah, dude.
I mean, yeah, I want to get him in a boxing ring.
I want to see routes ran. I want to see batting cages.
Yes and yes. I'll go. Can we? Is there like a TrackMan for like batting cages?
Probably.
Can we get like longest hit?
I would assume so. Yeah, velo.
It's called a hit tracks.
Okay, do we have them? I didn't know if they have them like locally. Does DBAT have anything like that? Because I know the guy who runs that place.
Yeah, I don't see why not.
Hit up old Jeffy boy and see if we can set something up there.
I just need more than two guys playing golf with each other that are friends.
Look, man,
that's not good enough.
Like I said, I'll get in a boxing ring. We'll get in an octagon. I mean, Joe's the same weight as me.
I'm ready to warm up this wing, start throwing routes, and start throwing some live BP. Let's just say that.
Hey, look, we don't even need you to throw BP. We got pitching machines.
I'm still gonna go down to this.
Jugs is like their headquarters is like in Tualatin. We can get a Jugs machine, get out there, fire a few balls off. I'm down.
Yeah, I just need to see more athleticism than golf.
Yeah, I know. But hey, look, Dirt took hold of this
because you said anything, so I need to shame Dirt as well.
Look again. We're not poo-pooing this. I'm getting a free round of golf.
He's so scared he's going to lose his golf out of it.
Yeah, like just chill. We can do multiples of these. We can do multiples. I'm okay.
Yeah, I think you all need to put your heads together and do some more.
Yeah, I'm 100% down. Like I said, we can do batting cages. We can route them up. We have like Dusty grade routes.
Sure.
I'm down.
He is a coach.
Yeah, he's a wide receiver.
Was he? I thought he was a quarterback.
No. Dusty.
Wide receiver?
No, Eric Ainge.
Oh.
Was his quarterback.
Right.
Yeah.
I knew that.
Yeah, so.
Maybe I didn't. I don't know.
No, he was a wide receiver at Southern.
Let's see. Kenny Atkinson, who we'll talk about tomorrow, he is going to return as the Cavs head coach. Let's see. Colorado, Vegas, Golden Knights tonight. Knights up 3-0.
Yeah, well, when the Avs are missing, two of the best players.
Sounds like
tough.
Sounds like McKinnon's a go tonight.
Is he going to go?
Sounds like he's a go.
What about Kale?
That I don't know.
Yeah, he's been game time the last 3 games, right?
Brian Flores' discrimination suit versus the NFL is
going
to go to
trial.
That means he's got some. Some legs on this bad boy. He's gonna make a lot of money.
Yeah,
he's the DC in Minnesota right now, right?
Correct.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, the NFL is going to have to pay out quite a bit to old Mr. Flores and to Mr. Gruden.
And I would probably pay them out before they go to trial because I don't think you want that PR.
Well, not just the trial itself, but what comes with that.
Flores wants the trial.
Yeah,
Flores wants the trial.
You know why?
Why?
He wants discovery.
Oh.
Open it up. He might be so burned. He's like, nah. The money don't matter to me anymore. I want to burn this thing down.
And he's already got great relationships around the rest of the league. That's why he still has
a gig. Yeah. So he might be like, you know what? Screw this. Again, the money's probably playing into it. I wouldn't doubt that. But also just, I think he wants discovery, and I think he wants to burn this thing down.
Let those lawyers go to work.
Mm-hmm. Because what they'll pull out, and that's where you're talking about that PR hit, that's where it gets nasty. I think it's the same for Gruden.
Oof.
If all those emails go public, remember how bad it was for Gruden? You think he's the only one in those emails?
No, definitely not.
So how many owners are in there? How many GMs are in there? How many people that sit at that table for the NFL headquarters are in them emails?
What did Roger have to say behind closed doors?
Yeah, buddy.
I have to imagine Roger doesn't look great in that suit.
Oh, I bet you not.
Oh, I bet.
In the baseball world, let's see. Spencer Strider for the Braves against Ranger Suarez tonight. If you haven't seen Strider or Suarez pitch, they are both very good, although Suarez not having that great of a season so far. Cam Schlittler on the bump for the Yanks. If you haven't watched him, he's good. Emerson Hancock for the Seattle Mariners. He is on the bump tonight.
Seahawks, didn't you?
I almost did say Seahawks. Sometimes it just kind of happens that
way. We're getting there.
We're getting there. But the coup de grace tonight, your main event, your feast among kings, San Antonio OKC Game 5. You said to me before this show started,
this is the game.
This is the game, because every game afterwards is an elimination game.
Yep. Who wants it?
It'll be in OKC tonight. Do you know that OKC has some of the best fans in basketball?
I've heard it. Look, Knick fans and MSG, they're talking about how loud it's going to be. San Antonio and OKC are louder.
Do you think San Antonio was peppering in some of the flopping chants?
Oh, God. I have a real suspicion they were, pumping that up a little bit.
Pipe it up.
Pop it up a little bit.
I've kind of enjoyed the physicality of this series. I have no issue with how the referees have ref this series.
No, the Spurs actually have more free throws. But you know why they have more free throws? Because they're going to the rim more.
Yeah, naturally.
The Spurs have the 7'6" guy that deters that. I've seen some Thunder say, well, the Spurs have more free throws. I'm like, well, the Spurs are going to the rim more.
Points in the paint kind of matters when you have Wemby.
Yeah, when all of a sudden you're having an existential crisis mid-drive, you tend to not go all the way to the rim.
No A.J. Mitchell, is that a concern for you?
I mean, yes and no. I mean, he's good for them, but obviously the bigger concern is J-Dub. Like, that's the bigger concern. Like,
agreed.
They can get that's the thing is, like, they can get it from Caruso, they can get it from McCain, they can get it from Wiggins, they can get it from Joe. They've got 5 guys. Case and Wallace, they've got 5 guys that they can go to. The problem was that they were all buns in Game 4. None of them gave them anything at all.
Caruso gave you a donut.
Yeah. So, what was it? McCain and Wiggins combined to go 3 for like 20-something. It was brutal. So, people are like, well, they can get that right. I'm like, yeah, and the Spurs can play better offensively too. They shot under 40% from the field and under 30% from 3. This is the reason I picked the Spurs. As good as OKC's defense is, they've got the cheat code. That's just the defining thing for me in this. I know I hate to come back to it over and over and over again, but like,
yeah, will you shut up about Wemby, dude?
No, I won't.
Damn cool.
The future of the Western Conference in the NBA goes through Texas. Just is what it is.
Yeah, it might go through Oklahoma as well. Did you say you saw a rumored trade of J-Dub to the Nets?
No, ESPN has mocked this one up.
I don't care now.
Well, no, like there is smoke around Oklahoma City possibly looking at trading J-Dub just because they have so much draft capital, and something that comes with that is, getting more draft capital back and then being able to turn that draft capital and going and trading for, I don't know, the number 2 pick in the draft, the number 3 pick in the draft, and getting either Darren Peterson or Cam Boozer.
Can I have J-Dub? I want J-Dub.
I mean, the Blazers have those picks. What if the Thunder go and get Giannis?
I think I'd rather have Jaylen Brown, but J-Dub wouldn't be bad either.
I would have J-Dub over Jaylen Brown.
You had size?
Size and age.
Yeah. Size and age, not so bad. Not a bad idea. I don't know, dude. Can we just hurry up and get to the draft? Because by the draft, we might know
I have a real suspicion
who the Blazers have and who the coach is.
3 weeks, you're going to see some pretty sizable movement.
Closing arguments brought to you by Leskin Law. Visit LeskinLaw.com for more information. Leskin Law's one-day divorce mediation, peace treaties, not war plans. That'll do it for us. We will catch you tomorrow. For Danny Marang and Casey Smith, I'm Patrick Harris. Go do something I would do.
Bye.